and sit down.
What is going on, dads, and welcome to episode 69 of the Dads After Dark Show, recorded on Monday, November 1st, 2021. We're your hosts, Drew and John, and thank you for joining us tonight for some Nintendo and mutual simultaneous oral sets. I mean,
in general, not happening right now, though.
Well, you only can see like from my waist up, so you don't know that. I just want to be simultaneous, though.
I don't know if it could be mutual and simultaneous.
So I think we got to get the elephant out of the room. 69 in experience, John. I guess are you all in on this? Are you like, ew, that's gross? Are you like, never tried it? What's
all
your
in.
take on it? All in?
All in. It lives up to the hype, yeah. Not with you.
No.
Yeah, other people.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It's been quite a few years since I've, done the old 69er. It's okay. I mean, I feel like it's okay. It just depends on the position. It can get awkward, it can get uncomfortable. It's just you're very close to other parts of the body that you might not really want to be.
Oh my lordy.
But yeah, it's I don't know.
Do you think it's a fair first date question?
Like, what's your 69 preference?
Yeah, like, you know what it is? You know, when you job interview, you kind of want to know up front, like, how much they're going to offer, because you don't want to like really even waste your time. But you can't really ask that up front because they don't know what they're going to offer you until, you show who you are, right? So with like 69ing, like, if it was like a first date and you were like, hey, my name is Drew, before we even waste anybody's time here, are you a 69 person or not? See, that would be unfair because you're like, well, who are you again? Like, that sort of thing. So it's like, so what date is the time to broach it? Is it like...
Is 69 in one of those things that's just like, how does it just happen? Because let's think about this for a second. If someone's giving you a blowjob, like, how do you just helicopter around to be like, let me return the favor? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's an awkward, like, initiation. I feel like you said, you kind of have to talk about it. It's not like you could just... It's not like you kind of just like, like flip them over and do a little bit of doggy. It's like, you got to legit, like, helicopter or something, but it's a valid point. Let me ask you this. Do you prefer the bottom or the top, or are you like a sideway type action?
That I have to think about that. Hold on. I have to visualize. No, I think sideways is the optimal.
Really?
Well, somebody's got to sacrifice.
But sideways, I feel like now you're putting like gravity in place.
Gravity?
Well, yeah, you're gonna.
Well, you're taking gravity out of the equation.
Are you though? Because now you have your one leg on top of the other leg. You're smushing your. I feel like the bottom is the way to go.
I think it's more like a corkscrew, right? Like, you're never like sideways. You're kind of like corkscrew.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see yeah.
I like that term. I like corkscrew there. I think it works really well.
So corkscrew 69. I mean, yeah.
The corkscrew. We should do a poll. I mean, we should do a poll on this on the video game Discord that we started the show from.
Yes, top, bottom, or corkscrew.
Right. Yeah.
I can't say I've ever done corkscrew.
I mean, I can demonstrate, but I mean, how do you share private videos on Instagram?
That might be awkward.
Yeah.
Are you a private? Yeah. That's.
No, I don't think it's gonna work. I kind of hope, I know we're the After Dark show, but I feel like Justin and Jesse should have this conversation on the main show. I'd be curious to know.
There'd be nothing better than that conversation.
Let's
Justin
do it.
And Jesse. Can we ask that?
Yes.
From the Dads After Dark show, ask.
We'll put it on the next Patreon email.
Please explain your 69 in preference.
Speaking of 69, how was your Halloween, Drew?
Oh, my Halloween was fucking fantastic. I'm not gonna lie. I did not have to do work or hockey or anything. I just thought Halloween all day long with my kids. We did some pumpkins. We did Halloween movies, the music, trick or treating all night. I had plenty of fireball nips ready to go. We're driving home from Halloween, and my wife's
Wait,
like,
wait,
"Oh,
wait, 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 wait. Driving home from Halloween. What does that mean?
well, I live in the woods, John. I had to
Oh,
drive
I
like down
see.
the road to like a neighborhood,
Okay.
but so I brought like a bunch of fireball nips, and me and my wife were drinking them. The other couple didn't want any, so I said, "Great, more for us." I'm literally driving home. She pulls one out and she opens it, and we're driving, and she's like, "Oh, you want one?" And I just like, "I'm fucking driving here. Do I want one?"
I think, yeah, you just lose context. You're like, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and she's like, "Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah." And then she chugged it. I was like, "This is fucking maybe we'll 69 tonight," but it did not happen. It did not happen. But yeah, I mean, Halloween is just so much fun. We went to this amazing neighborhood. It's legit like you see like in the movies. It was awesome. Every house was like decorated, like full blown, with like lots of like some of them like walk through little things, lights, music playing, fog machines, fire pits everywhere. Like literally thousands of kids walking around. It was awesome to see. We had an absolute beautiful night. Crystal clear skies, probably like a 55 to 57 degrees. It
Yeah, you
was
want it to be a
perfect.
little chilly. You want it to be a
A
little
little
cold.
chilly,
Yeah, yeah,
but like I wore like jeans and a long sleeve shirt. Like that's
yeah.
it. I didn't need anything else. It was
Right.
perfect. But yeah, how about you?
Yeah, good. We didn't trick or treat last year, but we trick or treated this year. It was kind of fun. It was kind of crowded, like not crowded, but like there was a lot of kids. It was good to see because
Hmm.
we just didn't see that last year. We kind of let the kids direct us this year because I felt like I mean, my kids are 14, 12, 10. We're getting a little older, and I honestly didn't even feel super comfortable like going with them. My daughter's
Mm,
still young, but like I was like, I kind of want them to just go on their own, but like it's fun. So we went,
yeah,
but like we let them kind of decide where they wanted to go. And
you
you
kind of just
know,
hang out at the back of the driveway. Yeah, you
yeah,
let
this
the kids
this was the
go. Yeah.
first year where we're not like, oh, that house has its light on, that house doesn't. It's just sort of like we let them go and do it.
Mm,
So we had fun. We saw our neighbors. Just it got cold. It was pretty nippy. We actually passed by our house at one point, and the kids like emptied their buckets because they kind of had smaller buckets
yeah.
this year. And like we warmed up for a few minutes, and then we went back out.
Oh,
But by the
nice.
time we were coming back to the house, the streets were empty. Like we were the
Ooh,
last ones. It was pretty darn cold. So,
yeah.
but it didn't snow, so that was good. They said it
How
might
cold?
snow.
Like 30s,
It was like
20s?
40 to 45.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a little
yeah,
chilly. Yeah, but my
yeah.
weather was perfect. Now, your oldest, 14, is he getting to the point like, or no, he still enjoys it?
He still enjoys trick or treating. I sometimes I get tempted to ask him like, "Is this your last year?" But I don't want to
No, yeah,
influence that.
yeah. I mean, trick or treating, it's not like, Santa and stuff like that. It's more just out there getting candy. I mean, which kid
Candy
doesn't love
though.
candy?
I know. I think he'll do it for at least a couple more years. But the first year he decides he doesn't want to do it.
Hmm.
I'll just hang out at home with him and we'll
Yeah.
answer the door for the first time in like a
Or
dozen
yeah.
years. So
Or maybe,
yeah.
yeah, that's true too. Yeah, I mean, plus he has the younger siblings, so they're gonna want to go, so he'll probably tag along.
Yeah. 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 It was fun.
Good.
Now it's
Love
time to
Halloween.
take down the decorations and we're gonna put up
I
the
know.
Christmas tree in like a few weeks. We've done it early the
Yeah,
last couple of years.
I gotta do
So
that as well. I gotta take all my stuff down, put all the Christmas stuff up. I agree.
fun, fun,
I had
fun.
to cut the grass today. I'm looking at all that to take down the decorations.
Wow.
I
Really?
know.
Oh
Yeah,
my
I
god.
think I might have one more in me, even John.
That's good. Do you have any like grass stories? Usually when you cut the grass, there's like horror.
Um,
You
you
had a
know,
mouse trapped in a box you were
oh
showing.
fuck, I didn't tell that. I gotta tell the story quickly. I'm sorry, I forgot all about that. That wasn't even on the list today. So here's what happened. It's just like the you guys. It's like you guys saw the end of the movie, right? And then, but there's a little bit more that you didn't see yet. So it's like you saw the end of the movie. We're gonna rewind time now, right? So the end of the movie, for those that don't know, I posted a picture on Discord. There was a mouse. I trapped him in a trappable mouse trap because, of course, my wife bought the one that doesn't kill it, and that's it. And then I had Discord vote. I said, should I kill it or should I keep it alive? And I think it was like mostly keep it alive with like one person vote and kill it. So now rewind time, like a week ago. My wife goes, I think there's a mouse living in my car. And I said, get the
Ooh.
fuck out of here. What do you mean there's a mouse? She goes, I don't know. I have like a little bag of crackers for the kids on my seat. And every day it looks like there's a one cracker missing. I said, you're losing your mind. She goes, no, I'm telling you. So she kept it there for a week. By the end of the week, there was 0 crackers left.
What?
And it was eating them. So I said, oh, I guess so. So we got the trap. I put it in the trunk. Just, so nice and flat. I put it in the trunk. I set it up. Like 2 or 3 days go by. Nothing. I'm like, fuck. So I said, let me go put it in the front seat where the crackers were.
Right.
Sure enough, I put it that night. Next morning, I woke up. The fucking mouse was in there.
Wow.
So now I'm saying, what do I do? She goes, well, what are you going to do with it? I said, what do you want me to do? She goes, well, the bot says you can let it go, but it has to be 2 miles away. I said, I'm not fucking driving 2 miles to let this mouse out. I said, do you want me to get rid of it? Yes or no? She goes, yes, but I don't want to know what you do with it. I said, okay. So then I posted it on Facebook. I posted on Discord. What should I do with it? So, John, what do you think I did? Was I humane or was I evil?
Evil.
So there's, I'm not all bad, everybody, okay? I don't have all evil in me. This is what happened. I said, I'm going to drown this fucker. I filled up a bucket of water.
My God.
What is wrong? I couldn't do it. It was too cute. It was
like a Ratatouille moment where like the rat's looking up and he's like, no.
Yes, he was. His little paw was like shaking. I kind of felt bad. So I said, okay. I said, well, I'm not letting him go. He's just going to find his way back into my house. So I got like a trash bag. I put the whole mouse trap in the trash bag and tied it. And I just put the whole thing in my garbage can.
Oh my God.
Is that worse? Because now it's like suffering in the garbage.
How is it better? It's suffering in there.
I probably should have just ended its misery and killed it.
Why didn't you just drive the 2 miles?
Why? What's the point?
Throw him in the forest. Give him another life.
Way back. Fuck that.
So is he still in the trash can right now?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
I wonder if he's still alive. You think so?
How do you get worse every week?
I don't know. Like every week I say, there's no way I can top that story.
What's happening to you?
Going. I don't fucking know. I don't know.
Wow.
And that was the other. I'll tell that story later on with the Mayhem. But yeah, it's just like every week I like Trump. I don't understand. I don't know. That's all I got though, John. But before we move on to what we've been playing, I just want everyone to know Extra Life, Nintendo Dads is starting their Extra Life campaign, I believe, this weekend, Friday, and the Dads of the Dark are supporting it. So here's what we're doing. Myself and Hambone Johnny, if you don't remember, the golf league champion, will be playing Birdies and Bears. Sunday, November 6th from 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll be streaming Mario Golf for 2 hours, playing all sorts of different courses, trying to get hole-in-ones. And here's what we're doing. We're going to be donating 50 cents for every single birdie that we make. We're going to donate $1 for every single eagle and albatross that we make. And we're going to be donating $5 for every hole-in-one that we make. So here's an opportunity to make, hey, we're both good players. Hopefully we make a lot of money. We're going to have a full stream. We're going to have another stream just on a whiteboard that we're going to be tallying up all these, money and different birdies and albatrosses and all this good stuff. And maybe at the end, we'll just try to play like a New Dawn City to try to see if we can keep getting some hole-in-ones or something. But it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be drinking, chatting, playing, stop in, and watch. I think Nintendo Dad's feed it will be on, but I don't know. I'm not the streaming guy. I just show up with the beers and drink and play. That's how I roll.
That sounds fun. You're going to try to hit all the courses, especially like the new ones, right?
Yeah, the only thing is we're going to have to play like alternate shot, so it's going to be a little bit slower. You don't have to like watch it. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're streaming it, there's no other way to do it.
I think that's fair though, because I think part of the allure of this is watching 2 really good Mario Golf players play and picking up some tips. So I don't want it to rush. I want to see you guys play and see how you how you perform.
I agree. I think it'll be fun. And so Hambo Johnny also agreed he's going to be matching that. So realistically, every birdie that we make will be $1 donated. So it's going to be a lot of fun. But
Nice.
that's this Sunday, November 6th from 1 to 3 Eastern time, right when football starts. Right, so I'm going to have football up on the big TV. I'll be playing Mario Golf, drinking beer. It's going to be a blast.
Are the Patriots playing at that time?
I believe they are. I don't know, though.
All right. Him looking better.
Hmm.
All right, Drew. Well, let's move past 69ing and burying mice alive and move on to what we've been playing. Squeak, squeak. Squeak, squeak. Save me, Drew. Drew? Let's talk about what we've been playing this week. I'll start us off. I've played quite a few games. I've been in a bit of a gaming malaise. And so I kind of went through a lot. I do want to start off with last episode I had started Marvel's Avengers and was really enjoying it. And
That's right.
Had a feeling there might be a moment where I find out why people largely didn't quite love the game. I found that point, Drew.
Lovely.
Yeah, the game changes from sort of a Tomb Raider style thing to we're gonna like surround this globe, and there's gonna be these random little missions on there, and each mission will take you to this big area that's mostly empty, and you just have to go from point to point. And then you come back and do it again, and your character is not like developing in any way, and you start switching between all the Marvel characters. And I really didn't like it. I actually just want to control the one character. I don't like controlling multiple characters.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, I'm good. I mean, it was a Game Pass game, and I just was not having fun anymore. I mean, literally, like within 10 minutes, I was just like, I'm kind of done with this. So I stopped. I don't know what happens after that or whatever. It just seemed like the game was like, we're running out of time here. Let's just do this little mission style thing. It was weird. It was very weird.
Well, there you go. You were waiting for it to happen. It happened.
There you go. Totally. I sort of stopped playing Breath of the Wild sometime after getting over to Kakariko Village.
That was only a matter of time.
I knew it would be. It's just such a long game to repeat. I had fun with the time I was playing it, and the moment I was like not in the mood, that was just sort of it.
You know what the problem with Breath of the Wild is? Breath of the Wild is an amazing first-time experience for exploration purposes.
Yep.
But it's not like other Zelda games where you kind of have like a direct, like, go to this dungeon and do that. I mean, you do and you don't, but the whole point of Breath of the Wild is exploring the wild.
Yeah.
You know, once you do it and you find all the nooks and crannies, it's not as fun to re-explore it in a weird way, you know?
Yeah. And I kind of dreamt of doing all the side quests in the game, which was the most fun thing. The Korok seeds I knew I was never going to do.
Yeah.
You know what would have made it really replayable? If you would have had like a Linkle. Remember they talked about having Linkle possibly, but like having a second character you can pick and having them have different qualities. I would have really enjoyed that. I'm just saying, Legend of Zelda games are not always the most replayable because there's not a lot of different things you can do.
Yep, I agree with that.
But different characters, I mean, if there was a second character you can play as, like if you could play as a Bokoblin, it'd be awesome. I played a little Into the Breach, one of my favorite games ever. Tried to do a few more achievements in there. I'd like to 100% it someday. It's so great because you have all these different robotic teams you can choose. And there's like 3 achievements per team. Like just like one of them was like, attack 10 people at one time with this certain weapon, that sort of stuff. And I had a fun time getting a couple more achievements. I think I only got 2 or 3.
I will play this game at some point in my future.
So good. So good. Just the best tactics game. I played a little Octopath Traveler. I started from scratch. I've beaten this game before. I wanted to see if I can find some new jobs or whatever. I started from scratch. I got all the characters. And once I got all the characters, I kind of was like, okay, I think I'm good. I don't know if I wasted my time or not. But yeah. And then I picked up Monster Hunter Rise again. And I'm so glad that I did not like start from scratch or something stupid. I love Monster Hunter Rise, but the thing that keeps me from getting back into it is the muscle memory that's involved in your hands is insane. There's so many buttons to press and you really just have to go off of muscle memory. You can't remember that when you get hit by a weapon, you need to hit ZL and B to get back onto your feet. It's just something you have to do with your muscles. But I'm back into the muscle memory, and I've been just having a ball with it. So I'm going to be playing it for at least the next couple weeks until Pokemon. So I jumped back and forth. I also started playing Pikmin Bloom. This is the new game for mobile. It's kind of like, it's like Pokemon Go, except it's more about earning Pikmin, sending them on little expeditions to get you items, and like walking. It's more of a glorified make walking fun sort of simulator. But I do love the expeditions. You can send your Pikmin out, they find fruit or they find like seeds in the area, and you just send them out. So every so often I'll bring up the app and go, you go give me those red seeds, you go give me those purple seeds, you go give me that apple and that lemon, and then they come back. And but yeah, I've been using it just as sort of and it really works too, man. I'll go on this like 1 hour walk around my neighborhood, and then I'll be back and I'll be like 400 steps short. And so like I'll jump on my elliptical for like 5 minutes, do that. It's just like it really gets you to do that little extra exercise that normally you'd have no motivation to do. So I hit level 14 today. So
How long do you see yourself playing this?
A very long time.
Wow, really?
I think as you do more levels, you have to do more steps to get to the next level. There'll be a point where it's like, oh my God, it's going to take me like weeks.
Yeah.
But it's the whole point is to motivate you to get walking. And so that's what Pokemon Go did for like 2 or 3 years for me.
Yeah.
Until it just got overwhelming. I hit the level cap and it was just overwhelming. But I'm going to play with this for a nice long time. So pretty good. And then last couple games, Garden Story. I kind of talked about this a little bit on the last episode, and I did talk about this. So I did a 30-second review for Garden Story. This is one of those games, you know me, where I paid $20 for it, and then I really didn't like it. I didn't play it after like the first or second day. I came back to it. I decided, no, I'm going to play it through, and I did. And it's not a good game. It's a boring, slow plotting game. But as I got closer to the ending, I was getting a little more into like finding stuff and whatever. The one thing about this game I'll always remember is these little side quests you do in order to level up certain attributes of your character. Literally, you get 3 per day. They literally start repeating on the second day. It's like, wait, you're telling me to do this thing, but I already did it. But it's like, because there's so small a pool of side quests, you're literally repeating them almost immediately. God. It's so boring. I would not play this game, but I did a 30-second review and you should see it.
But you completed it.
I did complete it. It's not super long. It was under 10 hours.
Okay.
And I'm not happy that I did necessarily. I'm happy that I did from a $20 point of view.
Yeah.
But that's it. And then the last game I will talk about is Twin Mirror. So Twin Mirror is made by Don't Nod, Life is Strange people. And it's kind of a story-based game that went past my radar. It came out December of 2020. So it's within the last year. I kind of thought it was an older game. So I kind of didn't want to go back to it. But it's a story about a character who, his name is Sam. Sam? Is it Sam? I think it's Sam. And he had left this town because he was a reporter, and he sort of exposed the mining industry that was in that town. And he basically closed down. He got the mine closed down. He ended up leaving town. He had broken up with his girlfriend. The miners were all mad at him. Anyways, one of his coworkers is killed in a car accident. And so he comes back to this town, and it's a story about him coming back to this town and then somehow finding out that his friend's murder seems a little suspicious. And so he uses his investigative skills. It's sort of his superpower in this game. It is not a Life is Strange game, but it's made by the same developer, and it came out after they no longer were doing Life is Strange. So you really get this feeling like this is a Life is Strange game that maybe Square Enix wasn't really liking it. and they took the license away from it, and so they released it as Twin Mirror. It really feels like a Life is Strange game. So if you're into that series, you'll like this. It just plays the same. I guarantee you it was a Life is Strange game at some point. I enjoyed it. As soon as I finished playing, I got kind of a bad ending. I decided to start another game because the ending was so bad. And I started it again. I played through. I was making way better choices. Got to the end. The ending is, I don't want to get into it, but the ending is like a sequence of decisions you have to make. And I got the same ending.
So is it really only one ending? Oh, you don't know?
No, there's multiple endings. I don't know what they are, but there's multiple endings. But yeah, I got a bad ending, and I thought I was going to get a much better ending, man. So I actually quit it before I even hit the credits on that second time. So anyway, but overall, I really enjoyed it. I'd like to put out a 30-second review for it. It's been a weird week for me, but I'm going to try to get a 30-second review out on it. But I enjoyed it. It's really good.
Oh, good.
That's on Series X, by the way. That's not a Switch game, but it looks really good, by the way. So,
interesting.
What about
you? I've been playing a shit ton of games, John. A lot of games. I've been finishing a lot of games. So I've played 7 games since we last recorded an episode, and I want to talk about 2 of them in detail, but I'll quickly go through the other ones. So Diablo 2, as you know, I've been playing it. Can pretty much eat a dick. I'm done with that game. I completed it. I beat it, and I'm not going back. The servers blow. The game, I can't recommend it. I cannot recommend Diablo 2 when Diablo 3 exists. It's poor. It's a poor port in my eyes.
It is on sale for $42, which I let you know. You're like, oh, son of a bitch.
That's my first gut, but yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. If you like Diablo, it's fine. It's Diablo, but when there's Diablo 3 on the table for a console, it just makes it feel like an old PC game, which it is.
Yeah,
you know, it's not like necessarily in the same engine as Diablo 3. I mean, graphically wise, I guess you could say, it's whatever. It's done. So once I beat that, I needed a game before some other stuff came out. And I needed to go play Ori and the Blind Forest because I did not yet complete it. And I did. And wow.
What an ending, right?
It's just the music, the story. I'll tell you what, John, you know me, I didn't get emotional. I'm not that bad. But this game gives you the feels, you know, with the sequencing of the events that are happening. You know, the whole, I don't want to say hidden or twisted storyline because it's not like a secret ending or anything, but it's just it all comes together perfectly, and it's a great fun game, and it looked beautiful on the OLED, and it sounded beautiful on the OLED. It's especially with Ori kind of being a lot of dark areas, so the OLED really helped make it pop. But
I bet it did. Yeah, just that ending, like as a parent, that ending will hit you like way different than
it does.
If you're
it's
not.
Just everything about it's amazing. This is one that it's like I want to play the next one now, but you know, I'll take a 2-month break, and I was like, that's perfect. Maybe I'll ask someone for the next one for Christmas or something, get the physical edition or something like that. It'll be perfect.
Nice.
But after I beat that, I needed a few more games to play, so I started looking. And my wife had downloaded this game. It was on sale for like $2 called Down in Bermuda. It's a pretty cool cell shaded type art style. And the premise is this guy, you find out in the first 30 seconds, this guy is flying like a prop plane. It crashes. He lands on like this almost like Bermuda Triangle island. And 30 years goes by. And, you know, it's 30 years later and he still can't get off these islands. And he's trying to escape and get back to home. He just wants to go home. And it's a series of small little worlds or islands. And the game itself is very tricky control-wise. I feel like it was made to be either touchscreen of some sort or PC-based. Maybe it was a Steam game. I'm not sure. But there's a lot of like zoom in, panning, using the joystick, using the LRs and ZRs. And it's almost to me felt like, think of like a look and find type game. Like you're looking and finding stuff mixed in with like these new fidget spinners and fidget gadgets where like you're clicking and spinning something. And I don't know, it just felt like a very tedious task. Like I'm trying to find these little orbs, and I had to find like 50 of them, and I'm in the ocean, and I'm trying to find stuff in like a shell and behind stuff. It just, I don't know. I played about the first three islands. I tried to give it like an hour and a half to 2 hours, just to be fair. It just wasn't for me. It's just there was too much of it. I didn't like the controls. It looked great. It had some cool concepts.
Sounds like it wasn't fun.
It was not. You're
Yep.
right. It was not. That's a perfect way to describe it. It just was not fun for me. If you like those types of games, it looks great. The story's kind of cool. There's a little bit, extra achieve. There's a lot of achievements and things you can do, but not for me.
That's exactly what Garden Story was. They
Yeah.
got their graphics down, they got this down, they got their quests down and all that, and it's like they forgot the fun. There's no
Yeah.
fun. Yeah.
Yep. 100%. I did download the Guardians of Galaxy demo because I'm such on the fence of buying this game, and I still want to buy it. My son was, I don't know, he was doing something. He was upset. He says, "Hey, buddy, come here. I want to show you something." And I said, "Let's play this game." And I had no long. I wasn't. I knew it was cloud based. I didn't know how long the demo was. I figured maybe like a half hour to an hour. Obviously, we know that's not true with these. It's more of like a server test. So I said, "Come sit with me." And he sat with me. He like snuggled me, and he was glued to the TV for the 15 minutes I had of this game. I'm gonna be honest. It took maybe took 3 to 5 minutes to kind of boot up, get everything ready to go. But I was seamless the entire demo. Visually, it looked amazing. The best way to compare it, John, is not only visually, but even it felt like control wise. I felt that I was playing like a real video game. And I'm sure you understand what I'm saying. Well, but you understand what I'm saying. Like, there's that Xbox type PlayStation 5
Yes.
games. It's just, it feels like you're playing a real video game.
Oh, I would say
versus-
not a real video game. Honestly, it's the opposite. It's not even a video game. It's like a playable movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's like, it hit me for the first time ever. Because again, I'm been Nintendo fanboy. It's like, wow, just the way they move and the way they control, it's just so much different
Right.
than like a cartoonish type video game.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it was fantastic, and I played through the whole demo, and I really enjoyed it, and I'm very close to jumping on that once I need a new game to play.
It might be something. Just wait a little bit. It'll probably go on sale in like a month.
That's what I'm thinking. So it's $60, and I heard it's like 10 to 15 hour game, which is perfect length. Perfect.
Oh, yeah.
But for $60, and you don't own it, it's cloud.
And a cloud, exactly. If I were you, I'd wait till like January when nothing else is coming out. I bet you it'll be on sale.
I agree. 3 more games, quick. Lost Castle. And all I have to say is Lost Castle, the next Ages of Mages, John.
Oh my God.
It is pretty damn fun. It's pretty much the same concept as Ages of Mages, except it's more of a roguelike, and you pick up different weapons. So when you start, you get different weapons, and you don't know, you can get, you can get a gun, a bow and arrow. You can get a melee weapon. And then there's potion drops, there's little item drops. And yeah, you're just playing through, you're killing skeletons. There's bosses at the end of each world. There's only 5 worlds. It's just, and then you have a skill tree. So you collect souls. Every time you kill a monster, you collect a soul. When you die at the end of the game, you go to the skill tree. You can upgrade your skills that are permanent throughout the game. It's fun. It's a fun little arcade type beat 'em up roguelike. It's not that long. It's I beat it. I had fun with it. It's great. It's great.
Now, you said it's a roguelike, so once you beat it, there's certainly got to be motivation to keep going, like a Hades, or no?
Yeah, not that much. It's not really that in depth. I mean, this was a very cheap, couple dollar game.
Okay.
It's just
The Drew special. The
It's a
Drew special.
100%. This is a Drew special, Ages of Mages quality. It actually visually looks better than Ages of Mages. I will say that.
Whoa, shocker!
Not hard. Not hard.
Is it as nice as Guardians of the Galaxy, a real video game?
Not quite. It's just that old school, like arcade type style game, but it's a cute little cartoony graphic instead. Where should I go next? I'm going to go next to an older game that me and my wife have been playing together. We don't really play without each other. It started off, I bought it for her because it's reminiscence back to her early days when she used to play video games as a kid. But I watched her play. I was like, I want to watch this game. I want to play this game. Monster Boy in the Cursed Kingdom is a fucking sleeper, fantastic of a game, John. I know you have this physical. You need to play this game. everything about it is just so well done. This is a 2D platformer, beat 'em up, exploration, you name it. It's lots of fun. Essentially, what it is, if you've never played a Monster Boy game, which I never played the old ones, but my wife seems to say they're very comparable, is right off the beginning you get cursed by I think it's your uncle, and you get cursed into a pig, and that's your first guy. And then eventually you have to play through all the different worlds and different levels, and it's all connected into an overworld that you can kind of just go and teleport between the two. But each animal that you end up turning into, when you beat a boss, you get like a little medallion thing, and you turn into a new animal. And I'm not going to tell you all the animals, so that's kind of the fun part in discovering and becoming new animals. But each animal has a unique item, right? For example, the pig can do a ground pound, and then it also has like different magic abilities. And every other animal you get has different abilities that unlocks new areas, right? So in a way, kind of like a Metroidvania-ish type game a little bit. You
Mm-hmm.
go back to an area, you're like, oh well, this new animal I unlocked can do that. I can break that wall now, or I can jump higher, or whatever it might be.
Do you switch between characters like
Now you can
mid-level?
Yes, once you unlock these other animals or characters, you can use them at free will anytime you want. I mean, it's to the point where you might have to jump and change to an animal mid jump because it's a new, and then do something in the air. It's hard. It's not easy. It's a ton of fun. It's very forgiving in a way where if you die, there's a lot of little checkpoints here and there, so you don't have to go. You don't lose like an hour, even a half hour. It might be you lose like 1 minute. It's so well done. There's item shops, there's armor shops that you can
Oh, those
upgrade your
Amish
stuff.
shops.
Amish. You can upgrade all your armor. You can upgrade your weapons with gems that you find. It's great. I mean, I think we're 20 hours in, and we're still going. I think we have another 20% left.
Yeah,
So
that seems long. Yeah, I keep expecting to be done with it, but
I think
usually
so
these games
too.
are not so long.
But like I said, me and my wife play together. We have fun. We take turns. We'll switch off for different parts, and it's just fun even watching each other play.
Oh,
It's been fantastic. And the last game I want to talk about, because I know my timer went off, John, Mario Party Superstars. This game is on point. This is the nostalgia of Mario Party at its finest. They killed it. They knocked it out of the park. It's absolutely fantastic. We will see DLC for this game. I am telling you now, it's perfect in every way.
What makes it perfect? Is it the because I know a lot of, is it a lot of these are old games, or they're all old games?
So they're all old games, but I'd say old. I think they take all of the maps. The maps are from Mario Party 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
The games are from, I think, anywhere from N64 and GameCube. So it really ranges like 6 Mario parties, and it's the best of them. So they really did a good job at selecting all of the best mini games, which made some fun. The boards are excellent. There's a lot of customization in the settings when you set up a game to play. Some of the ones that I really enjoy is my kids, who are 5 and 7, are having a blast with it. Just like other ones, you give them a handicap. So when we play, my 2 kids start with 2 stars. But the other thing, which I've never seen them do before, is you have a selection of which mini games you want to play. And they break it down into really good categories. You can do all mini games. You can do N64 mini games, GameCube mini games. You can do skilled mini games, which means there's no luck involved. Or you can do family. And what they did is they must have put like the easier games to control for kids into the family bucket.
Mm.
And it's fantastic. There's no mini game that like my 5-year-old really can't play. So he doesn't get too frustrated or anything.
Right.
I did have the chance before we recorded tonight to go online and play. There's tons of mini game online modes. I played it flawlessly with great connection. There's a survival mode where you just keep playing and you see there's a high score table to see how far you can get without losing. There's daily challenges where there's a daily challenge and you have to come in first place in 3 mini games, not in order, but and you get stars. There's unlockables. So every time you get stars and coins, it goes into the bank. You can unlock stickers that you can use during play, like good luck or oh man, or like there's tons of stuff. The game is fantastic. It was just very well done. Again, a lot of nostalgia. If you're an old Mario Party fan, this is the perfect game to get. Can't recommend it more. Love it.
Nice.
I think we've played already 15 hours and it came out 3 days ago.
How would the the games that like because Nintendo like put out a statement saying don't use your palm and to do those like spinny games.
Yep.
On an N64 controller, the analog stick, if you visualize it, really sticks out, right?
Yes.
And so you could do that, but like on a Joy-Con, the Joy-Con sticks are much small, they're shorter, and it feels like you wouldn't be able to do that. Did you play those games?
So I did. They didn't. A lot of the mini games that they used to have with those, I don't know if they didn't include them or they got rid of them, but but they definitely have like some of them you have to do it. But like for example, the fishing one you have to do it to reel your wire. Like you don't need to go rapid to reel in your fishing lure.
Right.
So I think they chose wisely on which mini games to include that you had to use the joystick for. I have not come across anything where it really affected the gameplay at all.
Okay. Did you notice if any games had different controls? I haven't heard of that myself, but just because some of the controls might be a little better on a Joy-Con using different buttons or that sort of thing. Then
a lot of no, I haven't noticed that, but I will say like the Joy-Cons I found harder for a lot of the tracing ones you have to use versus like a Pro controller.
Oh, I see.
Just because like you said the Joy-Con's not as stable.
Yeah.
But no, it's great. They have the best mini game ever created called Chip Shot Challenge, I want to say. It's just a golf game. It's like a par 3 course. Closest one to the hole wins. Simple as that.
That's it?
That's it.
I gotta look at it. Chip Shot Challenge.
I think it's Chip. I mean, it's, yeah.
You just take one shot.
You take one shot.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Can you get a hole in one? You can, right?
You can get a hole in one.
Okay. Oh yeah, I see the new one and the old one, and the graphics are so much better on
I'll tell you what, the game looks fantastic. It looks great.
That's awesome.
But
I will probably get this one a little bit down the road. I'm going to wait for just a little bit of a sale because I don't know how much my family will play. It's just not that kind of family anymore that we're all going to sit around and play Mario Party.
So they do have, supposedly, and I'd love to try this out, you can play online with people. If let's say me and you wanted to play.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say we're at 15 turns in and we're like, oh my God, John, I'm so sorry, I have to go. You're supposed to be able to save online play with friends and come back another day and continue.
Oh, that's cool.
So if that is true, that's awesome because like you could just do a 50-turn game and just play whenever you want.
That's one of the reasons why they didn't do it online because it's such a long experience that like that's not. If you have a long gaming experience online, it has to be something you can drop in and drop out. I've heard too, you can have a computer player take over for you if you drop out accidentally.
Okay.
Yeah. And they'll actually play for you.
Yeah.
I don't know. That reminds me more of like Wargroove. Remember, like you could make a move and then just leave and then come back the next day or something. Like it'll saving your game.
Yep. Agreed.
Little different thing. Cool.
Yep. So Mario Party Superstars, pick it up, put it on your Christmas list, buy it for your kids, do what you got to do.
Very nice. So we're going to jump into the top 8. Before we do, Drew, do we have a little message for our listeners?
We do. Manscaped. Folks, I'm going to make this super short, super simple this week. If you haven't fucking bought it yet, you're probably not going to. Let's be honest. So, if you shave your balls, go buy it. If you've already bought it, any type of Manscaped product, you know how amazing it is. So, Christmas is around the corner. Might be that awkward gift to buy for someone, but at the end of the day, they're going to love it. They're going to be satisfied. They're going to be happy. So, just think about it. It's that simple. It's 20% off and free shipping. That's a big savings, John. That's like, I think it's like $30, right? If you buy like the package, it's like $100. So you're going to get 20% off. So that's $20. And then you get free shipping, which is probably at least $10, if not more. So you're saving at least $30, right? Use the code NINDADS, NINDADS. And as Justin keeps saying on the Nintendo Dads, I believe some new products coming out as well. So keep an eye out for those.
The asshole trimmer. No?
The bleacher.
Before this gets too bad, let's go into our top 8.
Number 8.
It's Halloween. right? We're gonna
Ooh.
do as many Halloween themed numbers as we can tonight. This one's gonna be a simple one. Top 3
Ooh.
favorite Halloween candies.
Yeah, that's not so simple.
It's it's really not. I thought about it. And I was like, I don't have a favorite. I kind of like a lot of candies, but let's each do number 3. We'll do our threes, our twos, and our one. So what's your number 3?
Number 3 is when we say Halloween candies, of course. I mean, this could be candies through the year too, right? I just associate them because the way I thought about it was when we go trick or treating, the candies that most often people give out, right?
Correct.
Like my favorite candy is probably like a dairy milk, right? It's kind of like a European type chocolate, but nobody hands that out trick or treating. So for my number 3, I'm starting out with the old standby. I've loved it my whole life. Reese's peanut butter cups.
Ooh,
Just
I like those too.
These candies can get tricky because sometimes they're just not good. I remember back when I was working in my when I was working in my office, we had the little mini ones, and like every one you opened was like sticky and kind of messed up.
Yeah.
But if you go to the store and get Reese's peanut butter cup, and you come and you open it, and it's not sticky to the wrapper, and it's just a perfect, beautiful, crisp piece of chocolate. It's so good.
That's the key, crisp, because you're right. This is one of those candies a little moist and it's not good.
Exactly. It's like sex. But like
no, you put it moist.
Put them. Yeah, it's like the opposite, right? Well, if the guy is moist, that's problematic. But put them in the fridge. Usually I'll hedge my bets. I'll put them in the fridge. So even if they're bad, they're still cold and they kind of stay together. But
does that work for sets?
Yes, definitely in the fridge.
So I agree with you. When I was thinking about this, I'm thinking to myself, like, what are candies? Because I'm thinking about like my favorite type of candy, and I'm going to be blunt. I didn't use it in the list because my wife said, "Well, that's not like a Halloween candy," and I like peppermint patties and junior mints. Those are my 2 favorite. Like, after with a cup of coffee or after dinner or lunch, nice little, an Andy, those little, So I had to take that off the list. My number 3. Oh God, what I put? I don't remember. So what we did is we put these like hyphens, and I don't remember.
You set the whole thing up. Were you trying to think of it the entire time?
No, I wasn't. I figured I knew what it was, and no. Oh, I got it. Number 3. A lot of people don't like these things, but I'm going with them. Whoppers.
Oh,
are you a Whopper guy?
I don't love Whoppers, but every so often they're so different. Sometimes I'll have them just because they're just some different weird kind of candy.
Now these are the ones, if they are a little moist, it's nice. You have that little chewy, and then it's like crunch, and it's nice. Those nice melted balls.
Yeah, I don't love them. I don't love them, but there's nothing else like them.
We're good for number 2.
Number 2, this is a candy I usually don't ever buy at the store. I don't buy it in packs, but I love them on Halloween when I find them. A similar version of this candy has nuts, but these don't. It would be Mounds. I love Mounds bars.
Now, what's in a Mounds bar? That's not like one of those common ones.
It's coconut.
Ew.
And it's just coconut wrap in chocolate. I love coconut and chocolate, or marshmallow and chocolate.
Marshmallow.
I definitely don't like Almond Joys. But yeah, Mounds are so good. I don't know what it is, and I don't know why I don't buy it more.
I feel like Mounds, Almond Joys, 100 Grands, like those aren't common chocolate bars.
Not super common, but Mounds, you'll get Mounds trick or treat time. So
that's true.
And they do have, like, if you go to like a supermarket, you don't often see Mounds bars on like the stand when there's like limited, but you might see them if you go to like the candy section.
True. Have you ever had a whatchamacallit?
What?
That's what it's called.
Who's on first?
I'm serious. Have you ever heard of them?
I have heard of it.
Have you had one?
I don't remember what it's like. What's in it?
It's a little. It's almost like a Rice Krispie treat crunch bar. Like, I don't know how to describe it. It's a little like of a crisp. It's delicious.
Okay, I've seen it.
Good. You should get one. Get one next time you go out. I'm telling you.
We should get some weird candy. That's what we should do this week. We should
All
go
right,
get
let's
some,
do
get
that.
some, get some oddball candies like score bars or something like that, and we'll
We
do
should
like
get
a
the same
candy
ones.
review.
We should get the same ones though.
I don't know what we're gonna find though if they're oddball.
Whatchamacallit?
What?
Oh, how about I pick 2 for you to get, and you pick 2 for me to get?
Well,
So
see,
I choose whatchamacallit.
but I want
you to get
something
one.
oddball. Like I can't tell you to get some weird oddball one. I don't even know what it tastes like. I would say just go to the store and find just the 3 most weird
I've never had
candies
before.
Something you've never had. It could be something you've heard of, but something you've just never had.
Maybe like a Mounds bar. I don't think I've had a Mounds bar before.
You haven't had a Mounds bar before?
I don't like coconut.
Oh,
I'll try it.
Well,
I don't mind. I'll try anything.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll go through my kids' candy as well and see. Maybe they'll have a Mounds bar there. All right, I like that. So that's our homework for next episode. We got to buy some random candy.
Okay.
All right. My number 2, by the way, is simple as could be. You know, you love a good chocolate, but every once in a while, you need a little bit of fruit in your life. And who doesn't love tasting that rainbow with some Skittles?
Ooh. I like Skittles.
When you eat Skittles, you separate the colors and eat the colors together?
No, I do not.
Oh, am I a child for saying that?
No, I think if you're having fun with your candy, it's like you're getting dual use out of it.
Kind of like 69.
Toy. Yeah, it is. It's like a toy, and then it's like a food.
Yeah. It's like you're getting pleasure and pleasure in someone else. All right, what is your number 1 favorite Halloween candy?
All right, this is the one. This has become my favorite Halloween candy because my kids. I always tell my kids about the daddy tax. You know, like the candy. You know, you have to give me like some of your candy. Mm-hmm. They will always give me this candy. So like they just give me all of them that they get, and that is a Twix bar. I love Twix so much, and I don't know. I don't think they like it.
Really?
That or they just see Twix and they're like, all right, give dad the Twix. It's usually the mini ones, but there was somebody giving out full size Twix bars yesterday. So I'm
you love those people.
I envy them. But I love Twix, and I think there's 2 kinds of Twix bars. There's one that has more caramel, and then there's one that's like more cookie. I don't know. I think it has more cookie. I think that's the left and right.
Oh, the cookie is good.
And there's one with peanut butter that I keep hearing about on another podcast, but I've never seen it.
I've never seen that one. I'll buy it if I see it.
Yeah, peanut butter Twix, I think, is a thing. But I love Twix bars. I can eat them all day. I shouldn't. What about you?
So my number 1, not only is it just Halloween candy, I feel like I did a lot of them in the Halloween, but I like it year round. I love the themed colors as well. You know, you have the Christmas ones, the Halloween ones, the fall ones, you name it. Nothing like a good peanut M&M. It's just a great snack to munch on. Put them in a bowl. You peanut M&M guy?
I despise peanut M&Ms. Yeah, I love peanut butter M&Ms, and I like caramel M&Ms.
Peanut butter M&Ms are pretty damn good.
Yeah,
those are like the reddish orange package.
Yeah, Michelle likes the peanut M&Ms.
Remember the old school crispy M&Ms, the blue ones, and then they remade them as pretzels, and they're not the same.
I do like the pretzel ones though, and I do like what did you say, the old school ones, the
crispy.
No, not the crispy though, the mint. The mint.
Because I think
the mint is mint crispy too, yeah. Yeah, very nice.
That's it. Those are our candies.
Good assortment. I like it. Very good.
Number 7.
All right. Here is a fun little story. As soon as I saw this, I was like, I got to talk to Drew about it. Apparently, Far Cry 6 is sending out emails to users. And this is Ubisoft, if I remember right. But they're sending out emails to people who haven't finished the game. Emails in the basically in the character of the main villain, the guy from Breaking Bad, basically saying like, surely you can do better than this, and basically chastising the player for not, finishing. I think this is hilarious.
Genius.
I definitely, I wouldn't recommend them writing emails every single day. Maybe one is enough just for fun. I don't know. I like this. We're the dads who finish. And I think it's sometimes, get the goat of the dads who don't finish and the moms who don't finish and the single people who don't finish. I just think it's funny to see it. And the first thing that went through my mind is like, what other games would like would Nintendo ever do this for Legend of Zelda? Like Ganon writing you an email. What could you do with this? How good is this? What do you think about this?
Well, I mean, I want to know, what are people saying? Are people pissed?
I think it's probably split. I think there's people that understand it's a great opportunity for a good joke. And then people may be thinking that they're going to be like assaulted by email, which we are anyway. I just think it's a funny little email.
I think it's great. I think it's funny too. I mean, just like a little reminder, like, hey, it's a good game. Don't forget to finish it. I'm all for it. I mean, Nintendo sent us the stupid damn surveys that before you even open up a game.
Right.
So there's no harm with this. By you buying a game, I mean, they have your email. They know about it. I think it's a great marketing tool in a fun way, personally.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing it. So imagine this, Drew. You buy Super Mario Odyssey, okay? And you get to like the third or fourth world and you kind of stop playing. A few days later, Nintendo sees, you haven't been playing Mario Odyssey. You get an email from Bowser. And there's Bowser, and he's holding like Peach up to the camera saying, and Peach is like, help me, Mario, help me, don't forget me. And like maybe a week later or something like that, you see Peach again, maybe her hair, she hasn't showered. Bowser's still laughing. I mean, like, think about it. Like, I don't know. That would be hilarious.
It'd be hilarious. I mean, you could even go a step further, and not a spoiler, but almost like a tease of what you're missing. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, look, like something. Maybe I don't have a great example right now, but exactly. Maybe you show like an extra world or a little tease of another world in Mario Odyssey that, like, hey, you haven't quite made it to this level yet. Like, something.
Yeah, like that next level's pretty fun. Yeah. What about Samus? She's like in the depths of, planet ZDR. And she's like in a corner and she's like looking around. Her eyes are wide, looking out in the dark hallways.
I was thinking more like she has her back to you with her head turned around and she takes her suit off. And then she's like, do you want more? Come find me.
Oh my God.
No, too much?
Yeah, everyone's coming back in.
Everybody who jumps back in and plays that game.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
See a little side boob like? See, maybe I should be marketing.
You should be marketing. I mean, nobody didn't finish Metroid, I guess. So I don't know, but I think it'd be made. I want to see more of this.
Me too.
I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
Let's step up the intensity.
Samus.
Ouch! Now that was a great workout.
Number 6.
Okay. Halloween? We're still here? Still Halloween?
Still loving it.
Top 3, John. Scariest movies you've ever seen. Now listen, it's a little bit different. I want to be your first ever experience, right? So when you watch, like, for example, let's say the old school Halloween franchise, the more you watch it, the little less scary it gets. You know where the jumps are going to be and stuff like that. So we're talking the first time you experience the movie, hopefully in a movie theater, because that's when horror movies really need to shine.
Mm-hmm.
So with that mentality, what are your top 3? We're going to do the same concept. We'll do each number 3 and work our way down.
Okay. Number 3, this is a movie I didn't see until recently, maybe a handful of months ago. Heard about it, whatever. And then when I found out that one of my favorite actresses actually starred in it,
okay,
I was all in. And that is The Ring.
Oh,
have you seen The Ring?
I've seen it a long time ago. I've seen it like 2 times a long time ago. What's your thoughts on this movie? What do you think about it? It's interesting.
I absolutely loved it. I had seen references to The Ring, the scary girl. I just never had seen it. And then I think it was on Netflix. And I was like, I want to see this movie. And I saw that Naomi Watts is in it. And I love Naomi Watts.
Love her.
Yeah, she's great in everything. So
69 her. Corkscrew way.
Did you see Mulholland Drive? That was like almost
no.
almost. You haven't seen Mulholland Drive?
No.
Oh,
Is she naked?
there's some sexy scenes, and she's naked in Mulholland Drive.
I have to ask the wife to watch it with me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That'll be fun.
So the ring. Let me ask you about the ring, because here's the thing with the ring. I don't find the scary part of the ring, the girl or the well or shit like that. I find the scary part of the ring the fact that if you watch this fucking video, you're gonna die in 7 days. That's terrifying for me.
Yeah.
Because it's like that little bit of like, well, what the fuck's on the video? Like, you
Right.
want to watch it, but at the same time, like, if you watch it, you're gonna die. You're like, I'm not gonna fucking die. But you want to know what's on it.
But you have watched it because they show it to you in the movie.
I know.
Whoa. Yeah.
It's the whole lead up in the movie, right? Like,
Yeah.
what is it? Because you don't know. So they're not showing you all of it either.
I mean, and the thing about it is, it's a great movie. It's not just like a horror movie. It's a really good movie. The way they have this video and the way, she's skeptical. Everyone's skeptical that watching this video is going to kill you. But like, there's all this evidence that it will. The whole opening scene with the girl on the sleepover, and her talking about the video, and
I haven't watched this in a while.
Yeah, like, and that's when she goes into the room towards the end of that scene, and then she's like, it's like the girl's there or whatever, and then her friend comes in, or was her friend who comes in, and she's in the closet with this just horrific face that I was not ready for at all. And I watched this movie while I was in the basement doing like workouts, and the last 20 minutes I was actually working out at like 7 at night, and it was dark, and I was like, oh shit, like I can't watch the last 20 minutes of this movie in my basement in the dark.
Yeah.
But it's just a really good movie. I really want to see the second one. I don't know where to find it. I should check on Hulu. Hulu always has it.
It's not as good, if I remember correctly. The thing about horror movies are, if you have like a good storyline, I fucking love a good horror movie, and it's hard to find like a good horror movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And a lot of it is the cheap scares, which are fine. It's just it's fine. It doesn't have to be great, but when you do come across a great movie mixed with the horror,
right?
I honestly don't think anything can beat it. I love it.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I love The Ring. Yeah.
All
right. What's your number 3?
My number 3. I'm gonna be blunt. I haven't seen this movie in a long time, but I remember it scaring the shit out of me. As like even like in high school and a little bit after, because it's just creepy. Wrong Turn. Have you heard of this movie?
I have not. No, I haven't even heard of that.
It's just kind of creepy. It's it was big. I mean, it was in the theater and everything. They ended up making a bunch of them, probably turned into a shitty franchise. But the first one, I mean, it's just the typical, high school college kids in the cars turned down the wrong road in the woods, and it's like these 3 creepy hillbilly guys living in the woods that are just, after him, trying to kill him. And it's just, there's something about the, darkness in the woods and these 3 guys trying to kill you. It's not bad. I mean, it's definitely a fun watch. Watch this maybe one day when you're home, but it
looks like they remade
creepy.
it too, right? Is that what you said?
They made more than, they're going to.
There's a 2021 Wrong Turn, but I don't know if it's the same movie.
No, this has got to be at least 15 years old, I would guess.
Yeah, no, there is an older one, but I don't know if this one is a remake or it's just a movie with the same name.
What's the original date? 2003.
Yeah,
that's the one. Yeah, they made it. They made a few of them, but just watch Wrong Turn, the first one. It's the guys look kind of creepy. I think they're brothers, and yeah, it's fun.
Nice.
Wrong Turn 6. Holy shit! I don't know that many.
They should just call it like a wrong 6th turn. Yet another wrong turn.
All right. What's your number 2?
All right. My number 2. This is a well-known indie franchise. And when I watched the first movie, I was not prepared for how freaking frightened I would be for the next week. But the first time I saw Paranormal Activity.
Well, fuck. Let's kill 2 birds with 1 stone, John, because that's my number 2.
Oh, that is your number 2.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's what's funny? Remember Blair Witch Project?
So it's funny you say that, because Blair Witch Project only made my list. The first time you watch that film, Blair Witch Project created this behind the camera type, right, new type of film. Paranormal took what Blair Witch Project did and kind of ramped it up. They learned from them. There was newer technology, and they really
I don't
knocked it out
even
of the
know if
park.
it's newer technology, but that's exactly what I was going to say.
Well,
Was
newer concepts and newer ideas, and
Blair Witch didn't show you anything. They try to leave it to your imagination, but it's like, but I go to movie, I read books and use my imagination. But when I go to a movie, you can do some elements where I use my imagination, but I also need to see something. That's why I'm at the movies. And that's where Blair Witch failed. Paranormal Activity didn't show a ton. It's probably, if you think about it, like 3 or 4 or 5 things maybe that you see, but they do them. They pull them off so well.
They do.
And it really, we are at our most afraid generally when we're in the dark in our own house, that sort of thing. And that's where this movie takes place basically in a bedroom with a camera that doesn't move. So you have no freedom of motion. It's just terrifying. Just absolutely terrifying. And if you haven't seen this movie, man, you got to see this movie. It's so good. They made a bunch of them. And actually, I think the first few are actually pretty good.
I know I saw the first 2, and you're right. The second one was okay. I don't know if I saw anything beyond that.
Yeah, like the production quality ramps up. But I remember 2 was really good. I think maybe by the time you get to 4, it was like, this one's not as good. But yeah, I think that definitely number 2 is good. And I think number 3 was also good. After a while, it kind of like, all right, we're starting to lose the thread of it. You can't do this kind of movie.
It's like Blair Witch. They made 2 when, they didn't want to either, but, they throw millions of dollars in your face.
They did a second one. I'm not even sure if anyone cared by that point.
No. But they didn't want to do it. I think one of the kids dropped out and said, I'm not doing it.
Just embarrassed.
Lost a lot of money.
No.
But yeah.
All right. That was your number 2 as well.
That was mine. So back to you. What's your number 1?
Number 1. Now, when we made this list, I made a point to say the scariest movie at the time you saw it, right? It's not.
Please don't tell me that you have the same one as me. It's possible.
No, it doesn't look like it. It's about when you saw it, and I saw this movie when I was a kid.
Okay.
So I don't know how much it holds up. I think it probably still holds up well, but I saw this as a kid, probably Dad, way too young to be watching this as a kid. Poltergeist. Absolutely. Poltergeist has ruined me for my whole life, because there is a scene, and you've seen Poltergeist, right?
Many years ago.
Okay.
I used to watch horror movies like nonstop when I was younger.
Right.
I still watch them, but the wife doesn't like them, so I kind of have to watch my own time.
That's what it is with horror movies. My wife does not like horror movies. We didn't get to watch one Halloween movie together. I've watched them all on my own.
What about Who Be Halloween?
Oh, that's not us. Yeah, we saw that because we're SNL fans. That's why.
Yeah.
So in Poltergeist, there's a scene where there's this kid is in his bedroom, which of course, when you're a kid, in your bedroom in the dark is the scariest time in your life.
100%.
And there's this creepy little clown doll on a chair, and it's lightning outside, and he keeps looking over at it, and he keeps looking over at it, and he goes back to bed and he looks over at it, and then it's gone. And it like, that
creepy.
to me was the scariest thing I could have ever seen as a kid. Spoiler, the doll is like under the bed and like wrestles him. But there's so many scenes in that movie. They fall into they're building a pool, but it's like an Indian burial site. Just so many just horrifying scenes. And then just the background of this movie, that the main girl who was in the movie died not too many years after it. A lot of talk about the movie being cursed. I don't know if I believe in that. I just think it's a really big coincidence. But yeah, so much about that movie is still like, it's still just terrifying. So that's my number 1.
That's fair. Hey, you know what? And like you said, it goes back to the personal experiences. And for me, this movie that I'm going to talk about is, working on the film industry and working on horror movie sets and stuff like that. I can handle the gore. I can handle the cheap tricks. But what really gets you is when you watch a horror film and you say to yourself, well, shit, that should kind of really happen. You even think about like Psycho or, other stuff. When you watch these movies and there's like a monster as a killer and stuff, like it's not as scary, or even a ghost. Like some of that stuff's like unbelievable. But when it's like that shit could really happen, that's when it fucks you up. So I'm going to go with a movie called The Strangers. And have you seen this, John?
No.
This is about a. It's been a while, but I believe it's a couple, or I don't know if they were at a house, and they kind of live in a neighborhood, but there's kind of a little distance between the houses, and it's all about these people outside of the house called the strangers that start like just fucking with them, like banging on their windows, making little noises. There's this scene, they're sitting on a couch watching a movie, and behind the couch is the kitchen, and there's a guy in a mask just standing in the kitchen watching them. Like, when you're at home sitting on your couch watching a movie, all you do now is just keep turning around, like you're petrified.
Right.
So it's the fact that, like, and then there's a part in the movie, sorry if this is a spoiler, it's really not, they said, they scream to, like, these strangers don't really talk, they're just fucking with you. And there's a part in the movie where they say, like, why are you doing this to us? And the simple answer is, because you were home. Like, they just fucking with them. They just want to fuck. And it's funny.
They just
my
want to
top.
fuck.
They just want to fuck. They want a 69. It's also funny though, because again, when I was in the film industry and we talked about the strangers and Paranormal Activity, I actually filmed like a pilot trailer for a movie that I wrote, combining these two concepts of Paranormal Activity and the strangers. So it was like my two favorite horror films, where it was called House Sit, where it was about these couple kids came over, they house sitted a house, and they didn't know it, but the guy that hired them to house sit, they find the ad on Craigslist, a bunch of kids like, oh, we'll make a couple $100 to just sit at a house for a night. That's easy. The guy that hired them was actually a serial killer and was in the house, and he had security cameras throughout the house, and the whole film was shot through the security cameras, and it was the guy who lived there was kind of starting to fuck with them. But the whole film was filmed through the security cameras. So he was sitting like the strangers trying to fucking with them, and they kind of like, it was cool. It was cool. Cool concept.
I got to add, Drew, this movie is on Netflix, and I will watch it tomorrow.
All right. Let me know what you think. Let me know.
It's only an hour 25, which is perfect.
Yeah, it's not like an amazing film. I'm going to be blunt. But like I said, the first time I watched this, it's like, you're going to be sitting there now looking behind your back, and like every little noise you hear in the window, you're going to be like, what is that? It's one of those types of movies.
Maybe I should wait till Wednesday when Michelle is home, because I'm going to be alone tomorrow.
Oh, do it tomorrow. Turn the lights off. You got to go all in.
No, I'm watching it during the day.
All right.
All right.
That was good. That was our top threes. Let us know what you guys think, if you've seen them or are the ones that trying to scare the shit out of you.
Oh, God. All right.
Number 5.
The Metroid Dread demo was not released before the game came out. It was released just a few days ago. 3 weeks after the game came out. Business, Drew.
Yes.
Why did they release the demo 3 weeks after the game came out?
I'm going to give you 2 reasons why. First of all, this is fucking genius marketing by Nintendo. You never necessarily want to release a demo beforehand. And let me tell you why. In my opinion, there could be people on the fence, right? Whether they're going to buy the game or not. And you're going to say, well, yeah, if you put a demo out, they might put them over the fence and now they're going to buy it. But there's going to be people that play a demo. And I'm not saying this is necessarily the case for Metroid Dread, because, again, I've heard only positive things.
Oh, God,
but there's people that may now play Metroid Dread demo and say, oh, this isn't exactly what I thought it was. I'm going to pass on it, or I'm going to wait.
Right.
Where maybe without the demo, they'd say, screw it, I'm going to love it, I'm going to play it. So that's one reason. The other reason, that should be one of the reasons why you don't put it out before. The reason they put it out after, I think, is frankly because it did not sell like they thought it would. And now they're trying to draw people in, maybe someone like me who has zero interest in it, but maybe, I'll play the demo and see if and then all of a sudden you play like, wow, this game's actually a lot funner or, cooler than I thought. Yeah, I will buy this game. So I think that's now why they're doing it. Because at this point, what's the harm? There's zero harm, right?
No harm.
No harm.
Yeah.
But that's my take. I think you didn't put it out before because you never want to scare away a potential buyer, right? And putting it out after, that potential buyer, right, which maybe was going to buy it, now they didn't. And if it's vice versa, now they didn't buy it. That's okay. They still have the demo now to try it again.
Yeah.
and maybe they will buy it now. So I think it's a win-win when you look at it from that scenario. When you put it out after, that's my take. I don't think there's any lose situation, but I could see you hurting by releasing a demo before.
Right. I think these questions are hard because you can see the action that happened, which is they released a demo 3 weeks later, and then come up with a reason for it and go, this is a smart choice. So it's really hard to tell. One thing I know for sure is that they didn't like see sales numbers and then panic and then put this demo out. It takes time to put together a little demo, right? So I think they had this demo ready to go before the game was released, but they just decided they didn't want to put it out until they wanted to. And I agree with you that Metroid kind of was selling itself. They were doing a ton of advertising for it. They were going to get a lot of people to buy it. Maybe a few people wouldn't like it, but letting people try the game, could have convinced people not to buy the game.
Correct.
And I think that's true of every demo, honestly.
Every single game. I agree. Demos before games come out, in my eyes, is kind of a bad idea. I don't think you'll ever, because you could always still sell people after. But to your point, you don't want to wait too long, right? You wait too long, you wait a month, then you're going to lose the hype train. It's almost like you want to wait a week to 2 weeks. I think the perfect cycle.
I think they've gotten tons of great reviews. If you didn't buy the game, you're seeing tons of great reviews. You're seeing everyone gush about it. People have finished up the game, done second runs, third runs. And now you're like, wow, everybody's saying Metroid's really good. And now a demo comes out and you're like, okay, I'm going to try the demo now and see if I like it. I agree with you. Like there are demos. We've all played demos where we didn't buy the game. We've all played demos where we convinced ourselves to buy the game. I wonder how much of this is related to the fact that they have analytics on all of this stuff. How many people maybe got the WarioWare demo and then didn't buy the game? Or how many people got, any number of the Pikmin demo, the Yoshi demo, all those demos, and then didn't buy the game. And now they're deciding, let's do this backwards. Let's put it out, then put out the demo. I've got no problem with this. I totally agree with you. I think now, if anything, you were just going to get people who ended up not liking it.
My biggest question is, did they, and again, I'm not a big social media guy, but did they advertise on Twitter and Facebook or wherever that the demo was now out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they need to advertise the shit out of that.
I don't know how much they advertise that a demo is out. They announced the demo was out. I think there's a YouTube video on it. You're not going to see, I think they've largely stopped with their commercials. You might get some accolade trailers.
That's what I'm thinking. But
Game Awards are coming up. Yeah.
It should say demo available at the bottom somewhere.
I think you're going to see some talk about Metroid Dread at the Game Awards, and they're going to make sure that it gets mentioned that there's a demo out. So that's going to be a big part of it, too.
You'll see a holiday Nintendo reel that Metroid will be in, and you might see 5 seconds of it, but it'll be in the reel.
Yeah. I have no problem with this. I think it's probably a better way to go. Let people do it. And honestly, it's not like the game is dead. I mean, the game came out not even a month ago. They're going to be selling copies of this for a long time. This is going to be a title that they sell as people buy Switches in the future, all that jazz. So, I mean, go for it now. I don't know.
Number 4.
Drew. When I was a kid, I did not watch a lot of horror movies, even if somehow Poltergeist kind of slipped through it. And I don't think
maybe that's why.
Yeah, probably why.
You watched it and you're like, I've never watched a fucking movie again.
Every year, Halloween season comes, and I've learned to love Halloween season more and more every year. And every year, I allow myself to get too busy with work, that sort of thing. But I've been working from home for like a year and a half now. I've got a nice big TV in my office. It's got a football game on it right now. And I was like, I want to watch some horror movies. My wife, I told you, she doesn't like horror movies. I tried to get her to watch that Fear Street movie for like the last 4 weeks. She still hasn't seen it. I'm going to watch it.
You need to.
I kind of lost faith. But HBO Max had the Nightmare on Elm Street collection. By the way, it's my favorite part of HBO Max, these collections that they do. Love them. So they had the Nightmare on Elm Street collection, and I watched every single Nightmare on Elm Street movie within like a couple weeks.
You know what? I love just watching your experience. You'd be texting me like, "Wait, what? No!" And it was just it was a roller coaster. It was like I was there with you.
Every movie, especially as it started, was like, oh, this is really dorky, it's really campy, whatever. But I was like, let's move on to the next one. Like, it was never like bad enough that I was like, I didn't want to do it anymore. And I'm so happy that I really understand the story and stuff, because I had always heard things like, oh, Johnny Depp is in the first one, and this character is here and all that. So I just wanted to go through them real quick and my experience with it. I'll give like a little review of everyone real fast. But HBO Max, if you have it, it's still there. The Elm Street collection, all of them. And I want to go through them. I'm going to try to keep it all kind of spoiler free. But first movie, absolute classic. We are introduced to Nancy, who's the kind of the main victim character. This is Johnny Depp's first movie, not just like when he was young, his first movie. They basically brought him in because they thought he looked good, and they, wanted girls to watch the movie. The main character is Nancy. This actress would actually be in, I think, 2 other movies, very interestingly. And the final sequence of this movie, where her mom is killed, is one of the most hilariously bad special effects shots, maybe in movie history. If you've seen it or whatever, you know what I'm talking about. But
how about, I won't say without spoiling, the bed scene? You know what I'm talking about.
Right. Yes. Yeah. There's some really great scenes. And if you watch Netflix right now, they have the movies that made us, and they actually do talk about the first Nightmare on Elm Street. It's a really cool story. Really made a ton of money. Basically saved New Line Cinema. So
fucking love Robert Englund. Good guy.
Second movie, right? Robert Englund being Freddy Krueger. Second movie, this is really interesting. So in the second movie, Freddy Krueger is like really not who Freddy Krueger is. And so they kind of like tried to make like a whole different story for this movie. And so he is trying to possess this character who lives in Nancy's old house. By this point, Nancy has left. And he's trying to like possess this family that moved into this house. Nobody wanted to move into this house because they knew what happened there. But this family did, because the dad was a cheapskate. And so he's trying to possess her. What's interesting about this is that the concept of Nightmare on Elm Street is that Freddy Krueger is getting vengeance on this group of people that killed him by killing their children. This movie, he's just going after this family that moved into the house. So for this one movie, it really was about like the house is haunted. I don't know why they decided that, but they did. The really weird thing about this movie is, have you ever heard the song Nightmare on My Street by the Fresh Prince?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I have.
That song is apparently about this movie, because there's lines in that song that I remember. Yeah. I know like almost every Fresh Prince song by heart. Yeah. But he actually says the line, "You've got the body, I've got the brains," in the song. So that song was really about Nightmare on Elm Street 2, which I did not know. Just totally bizarre. Third movie, movies 3, 4, and 5 are actually all direct sequels of each other. They kind of have the same characters, and it's sort of this dream team sort of thing.
Yeah,
I think the third is called the Dream Warriors. And the concept is that it's like a mental ward. But these kids are now once again associated with Elm Street. So it's like after the second movie, they decided to go back to, we're going after the kids again. Interestingly about this movie, it stars Patricia Arquette. So this is like the first time they've brought in like a real actor. And she does really well in this movie. And Larry Fishburne is in this movie. That is right. Larry Fishburne. It's Lawrence Fishburne before he was known as Lawrence Fishburne. And Frank Darabont, I think, wrote this one. And Frank Darabont, of course, he's behind The Walking Dead and some other famous movies. So this movie is probably the one movie that has like actual star power. Young actors, but like they were very successful. So we're going back to the Elm Street kids. And this, of course, Drew, you're going to have to know, this is the first Elm Street movie that has boobies in it.
I knew because you sent me the screenshot. Thank you for
I
that.
sent you the screenshot. They clearly had this actress who was more of a model. She played a nurse, and this one boy is like really hot on her, and like Freddy actually kills the boy by like being her. She's got like
I remember that scene.
perfect body.
Only if you guys should see the inner words of John and I's text messages every day.
Yeah, Drew's response was, "I would love the job to cast her," because clearly they're looking at nude shots. All right, movie number 4. I says direct sequel of 3. Patricia Arquette is actually not in this movie. She was already becoming well known, so she wanted to do better roles. So she actually did not come back to this role, and they recast the actress in the same role. They found an actress who looked sort of similar, and this actress is horrible. I think the 4th movie might be the worst one of the lot. Movie 5 is again another sequel, but we have kind of transitioned from this girl, Patricia Arquette, and the new actress to her friend. I forgot what her name was, but her friend, she's kind of like redhead, and it's more around her. I do want to say before I should have mentioned it in the 3rd movie, the first of the Dream Warriors, they actually bring back the original Nancy, who was, the main victim in the first movie. She plays a psychiatrist. She apparently recovered from the trauma, went to college, excuse me, and is now a psychiatrist. And she's helping these kids with Freddy Krueger because she lived that. And she actually dies in the 3rd movie. So that's when she finally dies. Spoiler a little bit, but it's okay. So anyways, the 5th movie is now this girl's friend, and just kind of goes through that. It was a much better movie. It got a little less. This is when you started seeing the kids, like, you don't even know they're dreaming. They're just sort of like Freddy's like victim. And you're like, oh, are they sleeping? I don't even know anymore. So I don't know. So that kind of finished the dream, the string of dream movies. Then we get to the 6th movie. I'm sorry. This one is actually not called Nightmare on Elm Street. It is called Freddy's Dead, the Final Nightmare. I don't know the full history of this, but very clearly they just wanted to end the Elm Street movies. I don't know if sales are going down or they were getting tired, and they just wanted to have a good ending to it. This one was actually really, really good and fun, because I think knowing that at the end of all these movies, even when it seems like they killed Freddy, there's always like a sign that Freddy's back.
Yeah.
And this one, you're like, oh, they're finally going to kill him. They actually have Johnny Depp. He shows up in a commercial in the movie, like that's showing on the TV. And it looks like one of those, this is your brain on drugs type ads. But it's literally, because I was like, oh God, I didn't know he did one of those commercials. But they filmed it for the movie to look like that, and it's kind of just, I thought it was cool. Johnny Depp is hearkening back. They do kill Freddy at the end. Very interesting way that they kill him. I think it makes sense. So I thought it was like a good little ending. So you would think the Nightmare on Elm Street movies are now done, but no, there's 3 more. And I told you I was going to stop right there for a little while and do something else. But I was just so into it. I was committed.
You were committed.
I was into the Freddyverse. So the first movie, so the Nightmare on Elm Street movies at this point are done. But several years later, they made a movie called The New Nightmare. And this one is really, really weird. The New Nightmare, the plot line is that, oh God, was it Wes Craven? Wes Craven did it.
Yes, he did.
So he stopped doing the movies, but now he has an idea and he's writing a script for a new Nightmare on Elm Street movie. And they're literally, Wes Craven plays himself. And the actress who played Nancy, who was in the first movie and then in the 3rd movie, is in this movie. She's the star of the movie, but she plays herself.
Yeah.
What's her name? I can't remember her name, but like she plays herself, right? And Freddy is like, she's having dreams. Her husband is killed. Like, it's basically like Nightmare on Elm Street in the real world. I love this movie. It was, it was so much fun. What a great idea for a movie. Without doing, because if they just did another Nightmare on Elm Street movie, it'd be like, oh, I thought he was dead. You did a movie called Freddy's Dead.
I believe they still had Robert Englund came back.
Robert Englund is back. He actually plays himself in the movie.
He does. I remember.
And
this is years later. This is like kind of newer.
It's
right?
It's not a ton of years later. Yeah, it's you're still in the 90s.
94. In 94.
Yeah. I think it's like a few years after Freddy's dead. But yeah, so clearly they stopped for a bit and then they got back to it maybe a year later.
91. So it was 3 years later.
It's just a great concept for a horror movie to say, okay, now like, look, this is not real. It was just a movie, but now it's real. I really did enjoy this one. So Freddy has kind of a different look to him.
He does.
I didn't like it.
CGI-ish, a little like, yeah. I agree.
But it was a really good movie. So then there is, I think Freddy versus Jason is next. So I guess I'll do that. Yep. So Freddy versus Jason is sort of like both those franchises were kind of waning and everybody wanted a Freddy versus Jason movie. So they did it. And I was like, all right, this is going to be terrible. I really wanted to see all the Friday the 13th movies before I saw this one. But then I realized they weren't available. So I didn't. This movie if you've never seen it, the concept is Freddy is dead. But Freddy also like can't attack the kids of Elm Street anymore because they're not afraid of him anymore. They don't know about him.
That's right. So
he recruits Jason out of hell. Because I think there was a movie, Jason Goes to Hell. I think that's where it comes from.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with those ones as much. I've seen them, but
I think literally there's a movie, Jason Goes to Hell.
I think there is.
Freddy recruits Jason to go to Elm Street. He fools him. He pretends he's Jason's mom.
He does.
And he gets Jason to go to Elm Street and go after the kids. They are attacked by Jason, but they're all kind of thinking this must be Freddy Krueger again because they're all very familiar with Freddy Krueger. And that helps to bring Freddy Krueger back to life. But of course, almost totally what you'd expect to happen. Jason is killing the kids before Freddy does. Anyways, the first hour of this movie, you saw this movie though, right?
I've seen this one. Robert Englund still there, going strong.
Still there. The first hour of the movie is really just Jason, Nightmare on Elm Street, Jason edition. Yeah. You get a little bit of Freddy. And it isn't until about an hour in where Freddy and Jason actually have their first fight of several.
But it was good.
And it's good.
It's what you would want as a fan.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I got to say, I didn't expect it, but it's weird when two villains like that are going against each other because you're actually like when I watch the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, I'm rooting for the kids to like kill Freddy, right? Of course. And same with Friday the 13th, like kill Jason, In this movie, your brain is like it starts picking sides, and you're not really thinking about who am I rooting for? Am I rooting for Jason? I dressed up as Jason when I was a kid for Halloween one year. I was like, I kind of like Jason. But I've really been enjoying the Freddy movies. And so I kept going back and forth of like who I'm rooting for. It was really quite fun. And we shouldn't give away who wins the fight.
You can't do that.
But it's really enjoyable. I love this movie. So now we come to, believe it or not, 2010. This is the last Nightmare on Elm Street movie. This is the Nightmare on Elm Street. It is a remake of the original movie. Not a remaster, a remake.
Yeah. Not Robert Englund.
And
that's the first problem.
I think I put this on immediately after Freddy vs. Jason. I was all in to watch the ninth one. So it is, total remake, all different actors. Very early on, though, you do see a waitress and her name tag says Nancy. And that's like the first connection to the first movie. You're like, oh, there's a Nancy in this. And I didn't realize she was going to be the star of the movie at that moment. But yeah, like, so there is Nancy. And like you said, it's not Robert Englund. It's a different actor. And this one, every Nightmare on Elm Street movie in some way is funny. They're all funny.
Yeah, a little comical. Yep.
Yeah, Freddy Krueger's got his little quips. They love what they love to do is little like publicly known taglines or like expressions like "this is your brain on drugs," that sort of thing. He dresses up like a witch. This movie is not funny at all. There is no humor in it whatsoever. Gotta say, Drew, I loved it.
I totally I saw this in the theater when it came back out.
Oh,
It's
that'd be good.
and especially for just watching them all, you see it's a different and it's funny too because like I said, Freddy Krueger is played by a different person, and that sounds crazy, but when you have 8 other films played by the same actor of the same character, it is odd, but it works. It's a very different looking Freddy. It's a little CGI. He has like no nose, right? It's just a different it's just different, but the whole thing of where he was and the flashbacks, they did this with the Halloween franchise and Michael Myers and where he was when he was younger. They show Freddy like before he died, right? Even a
Yeah,
little bit.
you definitely, yeah, you see, yeah, I think it's the first time you really see Freddy before.
You get to I don't want to say you feel for Freddy, but you understand where he was coming from a little bit more, and they do a really good job of the overlap. It's a great film. I agree. It's fun.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no humor in it. And Freddy's voice is a bit like Bane.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
agree with that. Yep.
modulated.
He
It's
talks
frightening.
slow.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
talks a little slower. I would have loved to have seen this in theaters because I think his voice goes right down your spine. Just terrifying. But they really redo the first movie with lots of differences. The acting is way better in this movie. It's a real like real actors. And the guy who plays, I think Freddy Krueger, I think does a great job.
He does.
He is more like a real killer. He doesn't have the exaggerations of the original Freddy Krueger, but it made it a little scarier. And did you notice, Drew? Like they changed the story a bit.
They definitely did change it a little bit. Agreed.
Yeah, like so, Freddy Krueger. The story behind Freddy Krueger is that he killed a whole bunch of kids.
And yeah, did he molest them or just kill them? I
Well,
don't
no,
remember.
in the originals, he killed a bunch of kids and then he got arrested. And then for some reason, his trial went awry and they had to let him go. And so the
Yeah.
parents of Elm Street went
All
and killed him.
captured him and killed him.
Justifiably so, right? In this
Yep.
movie, he didn't kill the kids. He was a janitor essentially at a daycare.
That's right.
And I think he was taking pictures and molesting kids.
Yes.
I don't think he was killing them. I might have missed that, but I don't think he was killing them.
You're right. Yeah, they just changed it up a little bit, and then back in the factory and everything, or the building, whatever it was. Yeah,
right. So the kids like had some stories. They had some like slash marks or whatever, and then they went and they chased him down. Yeah, I think it's a minor change. I don't think it's a major change, but I think the original story was a little weird in that he killed like 27 kids and then they just let him go. It wasn't really believable.
Yeah, I agree.
This one's more believable because I think over time we've seen this more where he's molesting them and they basically say, well, what are we going to do? We're going to arrest him and then have our kids tell their story in court, So they decide to just kill him to protect the kids anyway. Really good. So I got to say, thank you for indulging me and letting me go through these movies. But if you haven't seen these movies, it was a great time. I loved it. I loved them.
It's always fun to watch a big series of movies that are one like a cult classic.
Mm-hmm.
You've always heard of Freddy Krueger, you always heard Nightmare on Elm Street, but do people really understand it? And it's just a fun roller coaster ride. It really is.
Yeah, it was a great time. I wish I could do it again.
Number 3.
All right, we had a story this week. Actually, I think I just saw it today. Returnal. This is a roguelike that is a PlayStation 5 exclusive right now. Looks really interesting. It's just think of it as it's a roguelike that could last about, I've heard like 1 to 2 hours per run.
Huh.
And when the game came out, they would not let you save your game, or like what I like to call bookmark your game. So in other words, you didn't get a save state, but you know how some games will let you bookmark, which means like you can save your game and then you can restore it just the one time. But once you restore it, your save is gone, right? So like
I gotcha.
bookmarking.
Yep.
Fire Emblem has that too.
Okay.
Well, they added it recently. So basically people were not, and on PlayStation 5, you can suspend your game on PlayStation, but you only do it for one game, just like the PS4. So if you wanted to play another game in the middle of a run, you couldn't. So if you had some friends come over and you were like, hey, no, we can't play PlayStation. I've got a Returnal run going, But recently they updated the game so that you could, and it's a bookmark. You save the game and then you can continue your game, and that's it. Just you can continue it, and then you lose the bookmark.
You can't re-bookmark it at all?
You can bookmark it multiple times, but once you continue your game, the save is gone.
Deletes that. Yep.
Right. So today news came down that people have figured out how to scam the system and turn it into a real save where you can keep continuing from that spot. Now, could you think of a way to do that, Drew? Like, how do you think people figured this out? You think they hacked it? Like, real quick, what do you think they did?
I don't know, John. I mean, I don't, because as soon as you load that bookmark, it deletes it.
Right. So,
but I mean, if you just every time you load it, you just re-bookmark it.
So, the reason, the reason or the way around it is actually why I put this on the countdown. So, here's what you do. You suspend your game. Okay, so you bookmark it, and then you upload your save to the PlayStation Cloud. Got it? Now, when you play the game, if you die, you just kill the game and you re-download your cloud save as if you're restoring your save file. And that cloud file has the bookmark in it. Now you can basically continue again from that point.
Because the cloud doesn't do an autosave anywhere?
The game is, when the game does the bookmark, it puts that in its save data, and even though it just puts it in its save data. So even though the game won't let you continue, it does go to the cloud, and so basically what they're doing is they're just restoring from their cloud save instead. So you can just keep restoring from the cloud save until like you have a successful run. And so the big reason why I put this here is this is exactly why when we got cloud saves, remember when we got back in the day, like it was like 2018, we got cloud saves from Nintendo's online, that they wouldn't let you use that for Pokemon, and they wouldn't let you use it for Splatoon, and I don't believe they let you do it for Animal Crossing. You can't, because they didn't want you to do exactly this, which is like in Pokemon, you could make a trade. You could trade a really powerful Pokemon to your friend, then restore your cloud save, and you have your Pokemon back. One. Right. Because they don't have just save data.
Are you saying that Nintendo was ahead of their time for once?
I think Nintendo, they very smartly saw that this was possible. So there's like a collection of core Nintendo games that you cannot you cannot cloud save.
Yeah.
So that's why when you got a new OLED, you had to make sure you transferred your profile to get those saves. So now here's my question, right? First of all, is this why we have games that don't have cloud save? Because they know that these things can be abused, right? Like, obviously, like Nintendo knows people will abuse Pokemon and spam the Pokemon, right? Okay. So of course the bad people, like, they ruin everything. But here's the question. Why should they care?
That was my point. Like honestly, if you want to go have 37 high-end Pokemon, I don't give a shit. Unless you're playing competitive online, right? Then it starts affecting that a little bit.
Yeah.
But if it's not an online competitive game, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Right?
That's where if Pokemon were not done by Nintendo, all of that data would be all cloud saved itself, right? So you would be playing with, like the way Diablo does it, right? You'd be playing with data that's in a cloud, but that's not how Pokemon is. It's just a local save. Don't confuse that. When you do cloud save, that's just a backup of your local save.
Correct.
You're not playing an online game. You're playing a local game.
Yep. That
will back up your save file. So that's the reason why you can't do the cloud save with Pokemon, is because it's just not a real online game. But yeah, so like So should the people that made Returnal, I think it's Housemarque that makes it, should they care? Like if you are going to go through the effort, if you're the kind of gamer that will go through the effort and, save scum to try to get a winning run in Returnal, should you just let them save scum, right?
So are you saying that they care, or they haven't said a statement or anything?
I haven't seen a statement of like they care. I get these are smart people. I guarantee they knew that this could be done.
Yeah, but like
they probably had a meeting and they said, "Do we care at this point?" Like, nah. It does take some effort.
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah. Should they care? I don't know. I don't know if they should care. Should you care if you play Splatoon? I think the idea in Splatoon was you lose a ranked match and you just restore your cloud so that you don't have a loss, that sort of thing. It's the same reason. It's like an online competition. In this case, Returnal is not an online game. So really, should they care? And in that case, if they feel like they shouldn't care, should they just have a save mode? It's kind of almost like
they don't care. No, that's the point.
They don't want to encourage you to do it, but they know that you can cheat and do it. I thought it was interesting. It's just so funny. That is exactly why Nintendo doesn't do that. So good for you guys playing Returnal.
Number 2.
So we have some listener questions. We have 3 that we're going to go through today before we wrap up our Halloween Mayhem. So the first question I have for you, some Solo Something says, what, in your opinion, has been the coolest costume you've ever dressed up with for Halloween? What do you got, John?
I don't have a lot of like really cool costumes. I will say I love the costume I have right now. A couple years ago, we had to do a little like Halloween fundraiser thing for the school. And so I went with this company. I forget the name of them. They're like Pixie something or whatever. And they make these like onesie things. And I got a unicorn onesie.
Okay.
And I was like, when I got it, I said, I'm buying this now. I think it was like $70, but I'm going to use this a lot. And I've used it multiple times. And I went trick-or-treating with it 2 years ago after the fundraiser. And I went trick-or-treating with it again yesterday. I got a little unicorn rainbow tail. And I got a unicorn rainbow horn. And it's just cool. I just walk around in my little onesie, and I don't have to think about costumes. It's multi-purpose. I love it. It's paid for itself.
That I now that you say it, I have the same thing. I think it's like a reindeer, a Rudolph or something, though. But you're right. I should have worn that. It's multifunctional. Yeah. Absolutely right. Those are good ones. So my story is, when I was a kid, I was kind of an asshole. And
when you were a kid,
used to, during the time of Jackass, right? When Jackass came out and everyone was doing their Jackass stunts in the neighborhood.
Have we talked that Jackass 4 is coming out? We haven't talked about that.
No, but I can't fucking wait. So we used to do something, me and my buddies, called Dumbass, right? We made our own name. And so on Halloween night, we got a wheelchair. I sat in the wheelchair. I put a Halloween mask on. And one of my buddies pushed me from door to door in a wheelchair, collecting candy.
Oh my
God! It's a very popular neighborhood. So I'm down the sidewalk in one of the neighborhoods, and I'm like, "Happy Halloween!" Your people, they feel bad for you. They, a young kid in the wheelchair. And then my other friend would. This isn't even a costume. This is just a great Halloween story. And my other friend was hiding in the bushes at one of the houses. So as we're walking down the sidewalk, he ran out of the woods, out of the bushes, and speared me out of the wheelchair. And like I had my bucket of candy, and I knew he was coming, and I just went. And we did it right in front of like a bunch of people. So all my candy went flying, and he like grabbed all the candy. He's like, "Ha, Jackass!" and he ran away. But it got to the point where like there was like parents, and like think about this. If you saw that happen, would you go after the guy? Or he just like
I think I would.
Yeah. So people started like running after our buddy. And then there's other people like trying to help me back in the wheelchair. It was just a very weird and awkward situation, but it was amazing. It was amazing. So that was like a big memory I had. I don't know if it was a costume. I will say one costume. Me and my wife went to a party. We dressed up as Amazing Race contestants.
Oh,
It was
God.
super easy. It was a lot of
Next
fun.
costume. No.
Next costume. 69. Now,
Amazing Race people.
maybe that's what we should do. Me and my wife I should dress up as like a 6, and she should dress up as a 9.
That'd be so good. Would you corkscrew though, or like how would you do it?
I don't know. I just hug, and it just like hug. Our next question here, from a good listener of the show, Non Jonto. I don't know if you've ever heard of him.
Oh yeah, I'm a big fan.
Yep. He said, what are games you played a lot of that you totally would not recommend? Well, I'm going to jump in here. Ages of Mages. Ages of Mages.
This might be what inspired this question, because I had brought it up, I think, an episode or two ago, as a game that, like a game you play a lot of that you wouldn't. Yeah. So I think Ages of Mages is the perfect game here. But you do recommend it, though. You do every episode now.
Maybe Lost Castle then.
So you
Lost
wouldn't
Castle. Lost Castle's better. You should buy Lost Castle if you need it for $3 or less.
Yeah.
Diablo 2.
Yeah. See, that's a perfect one, because sometimes here's what it is. For me, I have a couple, but this is exactly it. It's a game that you got wrapped up in and maybe didn't realize was bad until later on, but you're kind of further in, and so you just continue it. But
like
you
Pine.
would recommend someone to try it, like Pine, right? Like you couldn't say you should play Pine,
the problem
even though I played 20 hours of Pine.
The 25. The problem with Pine is I want someone else to play it so I can talk to them about it.
Have you ever found anyone that played it?
No, never. Never.
This happens a lot with your games.
The problem with the game is it was so bad, but the concept was so different and unique that I want to talk to somebody about it.
Right.
You know
I know what you mean.
Just so bad. What do you got? What games?
I had two I just went from this year. Grifflands, which was the game that I started. I found boring because it's too long of a roguelike. Roguelike should not take 5 hours. Roguelike should be an hour at most.
No, you should be able to finish 1 to 2 runs in a sitting.
Exactly. This was taking me days.
Yeah, that's not. You forget. It's like playing Slay the Spire, and you forget what your deck was. You can't like stop a Slay the Spire run in the middle. You can't.
Exactly. Oh, if you do, it's painful.
Yeah.
But I really did enjoy. By the end, I did enjoy Grifflands. But I don't know if I can recommend it, because I'd just say play Slay the Spire, play Hades, play some other quicker roguelike. It was too long. But I still might go back to it. The other one was Gears Tactics. I sank too many hours into that game. It was the same shitty levels over and over and over again. There was I think I remember it was 22 chapters total, but some of the chapters had you play 3 levels.
Ugh.
My God. Yeah.
I remember this one now. Yep.
There was a point where I was like, I just got to see this to the end. I would never recommend this to anybody. It was fun in the beginning until it started getting repetitive. Those are my 2 big ones for this year, though. That's a good question, Non-Junko.
That is a great question, Non-Junko. So last question here from Liam. He says, is there a game that's been too scary or gory for you to finish? For me, I've wanted to play the Outlast series, but always wimped out.
I've heard that one's scary.
What do you got? Anything?
This is a tough one. I have never, there's no game that was ever too scary for me to play. I know I had started playing Zombie U and then stopped, but that had more to do with, I couldn't play it in front of my kid. No, I couldn't play it in front of my kids. The Wii U was still a TV based system. But a funny story about this one, Resident Evil 4. When Resident Evil 4 came out, back on the Wii, that was back when Michelle and I I think we had one kid and they were a baby. So I had her play. So you should play this, because I know she doesn't like horror movies, horror stuff, whatever. But I was like, you should play this. So we sit down and she's going to play Resident Evil 4 and I'm going to watch this time, right? I'm the wingman.
Mm.
And I mean, literally, we were still like, I think we got to the village, which is like past, like the first scene takes place in a house, if I remember. And then eventually you get to a village and then the people like kind of turn zombie on you. And so we're like 30 minutes into the game and like these people are marching towards my wife and she's got the Wiimote and you aim it like a gun and all that. Oh my God. She was like shaking. These are Wii graphics, but she's like shaking and trying to shoot them and missing. And like Resident Evil is not a game where you get lots of ammo. Missing, running out of ammo. How do I reload? I'm like, just do this. And she's just freaking out. And she like literally took the nunchuck and the controller and like threw it into my hands. And she's like, you do this. Like she couldn't. She was
That's
terrified.
funny.
I've never seen her so scared in a game.
That's cool.
So I have to share
it's
that.
Good story.
What about you?
No, I agree. I don't have any good stories like that, or I don't really. I'm the same way. I don't really have any games. I just wimped out on.
We're very brave. Have you ever played Five Nights at Freddy's?
No, I've not.
That's one of those games you hear a lot about, and then when you play the first game, you're like, oh, this is it. This is the game. But like, I like tried to get my kids to play that, and they played it for like 30 seconds, and they got way too scared, and they hand the controller over.
Is it creepy?
Well, the thing is, you don't really move. You're in a room in a chair, and that's it. And you look around, and they're coming towards you, but you can only see them on cameras. So any given moment, it's like the Stranger movie you talked about.
So what do you do?
You need to keep an eye on them. You need to keep an eye on them with the cameras. And when they get close, you have to close the door. But closing the door uses energy. So you can't just close the doors and be done with the day because it requires energy. It's not a realistic thing.
It doesn't even sound fun.
It is not the greatest game, but like I think some of the other games might be a little bit better. But yeah, like so you're basically trying to conserve energy. You're just trying to conserve energy and hold them off for like a certain number of days. It's not a great game, honestly. It's not.
So I think you need to find a way to play Nightmare on Elm Street from the NES days. It's fun.
I've never played it.
You should. It was one of my favorites.
I do own it. I should totally play it.
Really? You should 100% bust that out. The 8-bit Nightmare on Elm Street song is just fantastic. I love it. It's one of my favorites.
I love the era.
You gotta have to play it.
It's a great era. I'll totally play it. I gotta watch The Stranger first.
The Strangers. That's right.
The Stranger. Is that it? Right. Is that our questions?
That's all I got. That's it. That's all of them.
It's time to go.
And number 1.
We did it. We're here. What are you doing to us here?
I don't know. It's the interface.
And number 1.
All right. So, Halloween Mayhem. We're wrapping it up. What a fun time. This was a nice, relaxing blast, really, for me. I mean, we got to see all of you guys submit your family photos, your pumpkin carvings, all sorts of stuff. I was disappointed, John. We didn't get any nice poems or riddles or any artwork.
We're gonna write a poem.
That.
Yeah.
We just got photos of your family, which is fine. That's nice, but it's easy. The easy way out, I guess one could say. So, John, here's what we did. I have all of them. You can open up your PDF now that I sent you. There's 17 people that submitted. And
you made this really official.
We're going to go through them all. So just to remind everybody how we're doing this, there's 3 categories we're ranked in tonight. So right now, again, we have 17 people who submitted 1 to multiple photos. We got them all grouped into a slideshow for each individual person. And we are going to review them by 3 categories. Spookiness, right? How Halloween-ish type spooky is scary. Spooky doesn't have to necessarily mean scary. Spooky in my eyes means it's Halloween, right? It's Halloween themed. Creativity, was this an original idea? Did you just go to the store and buy a costume? Did you create it yourself? How artsy, all those sorts of things. And then lastly, Nintendo. We are a Nintendo podcast. We got to have some type of Nintendo in there. So you might have the spookiest, most creative. You still could win, but if you cover all 3 categories, there's a better chance you're going to win. So John and I are going to judge all 17 of us right now live. We're going to pick one winner live. And John, I hope for some reason you have a lottery ready to go to pick up the random drawer in person. But
I have a lottery.
Just get a lottery. We have slide numbers. I have the slide numbers 2 through 18, so we can just do a 2 through 18 and draw a random winner.
Yeah.
All right. So slide 2, John. First slide. Well, really, we're here. We're ready to go. It's me. It's
now, you and I are not eligible, obviously, because we're judging.
Are not eligible.
But we submitted a lot of pictures just for fun.
We did. So I did a picture of me and my wife and my kids when we went trick-or-treating. I did a picture of my house with all my Halloween lights up.
What pony is your daughter? Do we know? Peanut? What is it?
My Little Pony. I don't know. Is there a name? She would know. I don't know the name of it.
Well, okay. Just so for our listeners, it's like kind of an orangish pony with
My Little Pony.
Pink hair.
There's a new movie on Netflix.
Yeah.
I don't know.
A lot of it.
Yeah. The orange dress with the pink hair.
Yep.
My son is Flash.
Son is a Flash. Your wife is Under Armour girl.
Yep. And I have
and Goomba. Is Goomba Buzz Lightyear? What is he?
You know, I think he's like a superhero guy. He's got like little muscle arms sticking out of the side of him.
I mean, he has the perfect face. It looks like he's like flying through the air with the wind rushing through. So it's like perfect. You can totally Photoshop this into like a sky picture. I mean, look, right in space, he's like, whoosh,
yeah, almost space. I feel like he has a space suit on. He should be in space.
Yeah, love the bat pumpkin.
Yep, bat pumpkin.
Very good decorations. Very nice. I like them.
All right.
Happy family.
What about you, John? Let's go to your page here. We have your lovely cats.
Yes.
Well, are they both cannoli?
No, they're both are pictures of cannoli. That one we have a picture of cannoli in a bowl that looks like cannoli.
That's
Very
true.
Good.
It is cannoli in a bowl of himself.
Yes, exactly.
That's a great picture. And then we have cannoli dressed as a bumblebee.
A bumblebee. And we had I didn't submit the picture. Maybe I'll post it in the group. But Joni was dressed up like a banana.
I want to see that one.
Yeah.
Then we have yourself in your unicorn onesie that you talked about.
There's my unicorn onesie.
Lovely. You did 69 with that horn.
Yes, you do in Leisure Suit Larry, actually, but I won't get into that.
And then your lovely family here. You got your wife. You got your oldest son. I mean, great Spider-Man costume. He went all out.
Yeah. Wife is a squirrel.
Oh, a squirrel.
Can you? Yeah, she's got a tail. You can't see it so much in that picture, but. Can you tell me what my middle son is?
No, I actually asked you that, and you never answered me. So I almost want to say he's like I don't know. I feel like he's dressed as like the Invisible Man guy from A League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
He is an axolotl. Now you're going to find that confusing, but his hat is an axolotl hat.
I don't even know what that means.
An axolotl is like one of those weird kind of it's like a weird fringe animal people don't talk about. You can actually have one as a pet. It's got a funny name. They're very cute looking. But
why is he wearing sunglasses then?
His hat has axolotl. His mask has axolotls on it.
Okay.
He has sunglasses that are pink that actually light up, which was funny because he didn't want to turn them on while we were trick-or-treating. But it's like, this is the time to have them on. And he didn't really, I think maybe he didn't like the light in his eyes. So whatever.
Yeah, that didn't see. They're tough glasses. I did see that.
He did have an axolotl shirt that said something like, I'm an axolotl or whatever. But it was cold, so he was wearing a Minecraft sweater. And then the cape was for his axolotl costume. I've never understood what that was, but yeah.
So the cape was by design. It just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make really much sense. He just, I give him kudos for trying to be an axolotl, but then like on Halloween when it's dark, you can't make out what his hat is. You can't make out what his mask is. None of that. So,
and then your lovely daughter's a pumpkin.
She's a pumpkin.
Now she's the youngest, right?
She's the youngest.
She's tall.
She's tall. Yeah, she's about the same height as Sebastian, who's 2 years older. But girls tend to grow faster. So yeah, and my boys are not. They're still like low percentiles too.
Oh really?
But my oldest son is really starting to like really grow fast. So Next year he'll be taller probably than his mom.
So those do not count. Let's move on to the next one here. Slide 4.
Ooh.
Crazy Greek Dre
Yeah,
has
pumpkins.
a lovely picture of his stoop with some pumpkins, and it looks like a Mickey Mouse blow up.
That's a Minnie Mouse.
Oh, Minnie Mouse. What's the one on the right? That's a
cat.
It's a cat on a pumpkin blow up.
It almost reminds me of Gigi from Kiki's Delivery Service, but that's only because it's a black cat with green eyes.
Okay. And then we have some pumpkins. What's that top left one? A cat?
Is that a cat? I think that's a cat.
A cat.
But it's got,
a normal. Yeah.
It might have a fracture. I can't tell.
I'm not sure.
Looks like
maybe
cat.
a little droopy.
Yeah.
Then 2 jack-o'-lanterns, and then
the ghosts are pretty cool. Yeah,
the ghosts are cool.
I like it.
Crazy Dread, good one there. Chris, HL94, some pumpkins here.
4 pumpkins, not one of them has hockey related.
That's impressive. I'm surprised you didn't just have like the NHL logo.
Yeah, what's up with that?
That's disappointing. That could have won, because that would have added the Nintendo theme.
Could have totally won.
Next year, remember that. You could have just did a NHL 94 logo and win.
I will say I've done that Mario pattern before, and that is a hard pattern to do.
That does not look fun to do.
Lots
of
thin
Mario
edges.
He has Mike Wazowski, I think, right?
It looks like a smirking Mike Wazowski, right?
Does Mike Wazowski have that many teeth?
No, it definitely a little looks scarier if that's Mike Wazowski. I don't think it is Mike Wazowski, but
it's cool regardless of what it is.
I like it. It's a great pattern.
A bat, and then
I want to point out the ghost looks like a sex pumpkin.
You could insert dick here.
Yeah, and so sex pumpkin is my early leader.
Wow, right now?
But right now, sex pumpkin would win.
You're right. That's like a sneaky, cool sex pumpkin. It kind of looks like, think of like Clyde from Pac-Man, the ghost, but with like a face like that you don't know what you're looking at. Like the big stared open mouth. Like, yeah, think of that.
Yeah, like if you wanted Blinky to do oral on you, that's pretty much what we're looking at here.
Now that you say that way, I kind of agree. He's the leader in the clubhouse.
Even though there's no spookiness or creativity or Nintendo involved. It's the leader in the clubhouse.
This is our show. All right, let's go to the next slide here. Bob Cousy, friend of the show. Kevin. I mean, I gotta be honest. The left picture here is just a random picture he may have found on the internet. It looks like a lovely family dressed up in Nintendo characters. Very cool, though, by the way. Very cool.
I like the Toadmobile.
The Toadmobile, I mean, dry bones, that's very rare.
Yeah.
And then the Piranha Plant looks like also could be...
Yeah, that's like a real Nintendo family. Like, that's not just we got the Mario and Luigi at the store. That's like a real Nintendo family.
But I think we need to talk about what's going on the other side of this photo here. Because...
So good.
He absolutely nailed Mario Golf. And I think he did this for me. This might be a little bit for me. He's wearing, he has a side-by-side picture of himself and Mario from Mario Golf. I mean, he killed it. The white pants, the belt, the red Nintendo shirt. He's mimicking the visor. He's got the mustache and the golf club. With the golf glove. Didn't even see the glove.
He's holding the visor, like clearly he's matching this photo, except that I think he added the golf club in his hand. But I think that's a good touch.
It's a great
I love it.
I mean, Kevin, you you always have my vote when you throw golf in there. That's an easy one. But it might be tough to get Pinky going over there, who's looking for a little D.
I mean, I think I can get more out of the sex pumpkin.
You're not wrong there. All right, let's move on to the next one here, the Ninformant. Some more pumpkins, but let me tell you, these are some impressive pumpkins here. We have
These are some impressive pumpkins.
We got K-Mets, but not only is K-Mets a jack-o'-lantern, it's also painted. It's like a nice painted pumpkin by day, a nice jack-o'-lantern at night.
I like it, yeah. And if you look at the daytime picture, you can see it is like kind of carved out.
Yes.
I think this is the great new way to do pumpkins.
I don't fully understand how this works. Like, you can't penetrate the pumpkin to just do like a little bit of it?
Yeah, you want to work it from the outside. You don't want to penetrate, but you just want to You want to like kind of get it in there, you know. You want to
Quite
stimulate
penetrated.
the end. Yeah, exactly. So you're actually etching out the outsides of the pumpkin so
But
that
you could do like all of this and at the very end penetrate and then it's done. You killed it.
well, that's the sex pumpkin. That's what you're doing with the sex pumpkin there. So you want to have this one that's like a tease, a little foreplay, and then you have your
Ooh.
sex pumpkin for later. This way you don't have to penetrate this one.
Let's talk about this other pumpkin. Talk about penetration. Now, is this the son from Super Mario Brothers 3?
I had the same question. There's one tooth carved out. I
That
feel
could have
like
been
that
a-
might be an error.
That should have been a penetration error. I think it was.
Oh, that's what that is. That's the penetration part.
So could you penetrate that? I mean, I know it's a triangle. It might be a little uncomfortable. I mean, I'll tell you what.
Maybe my dick's a triangle, Drew.
These are high quality Nintendo carving pumpkins. I'm not gonna lie. I couldn't do these.
I am impressed by the K-Mech one. That's definitely on the list of finalists for me.
Speaking of pumpkins, I gotta ask. If you were to carve a pumpkin, do you cut the hole in the top where the stem is, or do you do it on the bottom?
I do it at the top, but my
Me
son
too.
cut out the bottom so he can wear it like a mask.
I saw that picture. That was funny. But I feel like people do it on the bottom. I don't see the but then you can't flip it upside down.
But you can't close it back up.
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't get it.
No, I just go from the top, and I mean, it's flexible that way. I mean, you just plug it back up.
Agreed. All right, next one. Let's go to Joe 92.
I like it.
No idea if this is his kid. I think he said it was his wife's a teacher, someone in his class. I'm not really sure.
Oh, you're right. I think I remember that. I have
it
I have the same Mario Kart, by the way. We did this a few years ago where my wife and I were Mario and Luigi karts.
It's like a blow up Mario Kart.
Yep.
You kind of put over your shoulder, so it looks like you're sitting in it, and then he has like a really high quality Mario mask. I'm not gonna lie.
That's a good mask.
So not bad. Good picture.
Yeah, we wore ours to like that Halloween fundraiser, but like a year before. And yeah, we very quickly were like, well, we can't sit down with these on. So basically, we kind of went the whole night without a real costume. I just had a red shirt on.
Yeah, that stinks. All right, next one here. Michael PJP. Looks like he has his kid dressed as Baby Shark. Very cute. And then he has a couple Animal Crossing Halloween pictures. Just as a pirate.
I like the on that left picture, the girl character has like a pumpkin on her cheek.
I saw that.
Yeah, and I mean, I know you can do that with custom drawing in Animal Crossing, but I've never really seen someone do that.
And a bat on the other cheek.
Yeah, I've never seen somebody do that before. That's interesting. So,
would you get a tattoo on your face?
No, not in Animal Crossing. In real life, definitely, I would get a tattoo of a pumpkin on my face.
Maybe a penis?
Maybe a triangle penis.
Speaking of triangle penises, let's go to the next slide here. Whoa, Chris HL94 is back at it. I didn't see this.
Oh.
This is a double dipper. I should have added this to his Clyde pumpkin. Which So is this you're going to have to describe this one to me as I'm not familiar with the Metroid lore.
So I think that's Samus on the left. You can see the middle part is basically the visor. You should be able to make that out. And the rest is sort of lighting and stuff. It probably looks better at night.
We need a night picture here, Chris. Note to future self.
The one on the left, I think it's supposed to be an Emmy. Very creative with cutting out the piece of the pumpkin and then basically schnozzing it back in there. Right? So it's kind of like
it's penetrated.
It's penetrating. So I do like that one. I definitely would have liked a night picture of the Samus one.
But hey, Chris, it's okay. You still got the ghost going for you.
Yeah. Sex ghost.
All right, this next one, I'm not going to lie. I'm a big fan of this one. This is Texas Trey, and he did a customized Nintendo family this year. Him and his wife went as a blue and a red Joy-Con. Very cool. Looks like they made a nice little wrap around their neck. It looks like they got their 3 kids dressed as Mario, Kirby. Great Kirby. Well, I don't know what the hell that is, but that's well done.
It looks puffy.
It does. It looks like a giant circle pillow or something. I don't know. And then a Goomba. You know me and Goombas. I'm a sucker. She's
I
gonna
like it.
be. One of them's gonna be some type of art teacher or something. These are done too well.
And it's very accurate too. It's so easy to like make these controllers and not like get the color right. Like they got the right colors, the minus and plus, the YXBA. Even
It's
got
well
the power
done.
button on there. It's well done.
And then they added another little picture of their kid dressed as a baby Luigi, probably from a previous year.
Baby Luigi. There's literally a baby Luigi in the Nintendo. So it's not even like a baby Luigi. It's baby Luigi.
Exactly. Sean Abbott, across the sea. We got his son, pumpkin picking as a skeleton.
Nice little pumpkin orchard there.
I should have asked. I've been staring at this picture for a good week. I have no fucking idea what this ghost is.
The ghost? It's just a ghost.
It's just a ghost. Well, is there something under it? Is it like, a person?
No, it's just a ghost. It could be. No, it looks like it's just there's an object underneath it.
Sean, you need to learn. But the problem here is Sean did not learn from Chris, and the mouth is closed.
Yeah, this is not a sex ghost, and we'll eliminate it from contention.
Eliminated from the competition. And then he has his. It looks like the same kid dressed as Spider-Man. One of this is a previous year.
I'm trying to remember how many kids Sean has, but I think
maybe it is a different kid.
I can't tell.
Very cute.
Wearing a mask.
Pictures.
Yeah.
Next one here, Matt's Power. This is clever. It looks like his son and daughter and a bunch of their friends all dressed up as Mario Kart characters. Mm-hmm. But you gotta respect his son here for not just saying I want to be, Mario or Luigi or Bowser. No, I want to be Lakitu, and I want to just fucking hold the final lap sign.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, genius.
I love it.
I love it. It's a great picture.
Yeah.
Great costume.
And just everyone's kind of coordinated. So like, because there's a Peach, a Luigi, a Toad, a Rosalina, a Mario, final lap, and then
a witch.
I think it's just a witch. She doesn't feel involved.
She didn't get the memo. You know what? Right. I hate to say it, Matt's Power. You may have just lost because of that witch.
It's probably an Xbox girl.
Yeah.
All right. Kart Kids, definitely contenders.
Yes, agreed.
Next one,
Nintendo
with the Scooby Gang.
Yeah, why don't you describe this one for us here?
This is Nick and his wife, and there are 4 kids. He doesn't have 4 kids though, so I don't know. Nick doesn't have 4 kids, right?
Oh, shit, I don't know now.
Gosh, I don't know.
What's his wife's? Felma.
I know that they're noisy a lot while he's podcasting. That I know. That's it. That's
Felma, and he's Shaggy.
He's Shaggy.
Fred, the other girl in the white.
Yes.
I thought Fred had he had an orange scarf. Yep. Scooby, and then the little girl.
No, Daphne.
Daphne's the wife's Daphne.
Oh, is it? Wait.
I don't know. I don't fucking know.
I got to Google.
Scooby-Doo people, okay, folks? They're the Scooby-Doo people.
No, Daphne is the girl with the green scarf. That's Daphne.
No.
Yes,
Velma.
I just Googled it.
Oh, okay, I trust you.
If you want to put money on it, then I'm glad to take it.
Oh, Google's not always right, though.
And then there's the Mystery Machine, the van, right in the middle.
Oh, that's what she is. She's dressed as the Mystery Machine.
It's the Mystery Machine. Yeah,
I'll tell you what, the Mystery Machine is high quality.
Yeah.
And then what the hell is this thing on the right? Animal Crossing thing?
That is Cap'n. That's the new guy that's coming to Animal Crossing on Friday. The green guy that takes you to the island.
Oh.
That's a pretty good one, too, because it looks like it's just floating. It's like it's just floating.
I was going to say, I don't understand how we did that.
Yeah, that's a really good one. Very nice.
Also, these jack-o'-lanterns have very bright lights in them.
Yeah.
All right. Jesse. I don't think these were his designs, but I give him credit because he went on the internet and found them, just like any one of you could have done, but you didn't. You didn't, but Jesse did.
The pie Jesse one is credit. So Jesse.
So there's 3 pumpkins, 3.14 for obviously pie.
Pumpkin pie.
Joke was pumpkin pie. And then what's his name? The blob guy from Dragon Quest, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what they're called. What are they called? They're called
isn't it called
blobs? Slimes. The
King
Slime guy? Yes.
Yeah. We only played 90 hours of this game.
I know. Next one, Tim, Neoprime 33. Looks like maybe I think maybe his wife and kid.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
what are they? It looked like the guy from Darksiders.
You know,
Doesn't it?
the one on the right could be so many things. It could be the guy from Ready Player One. It could be
No.
Darksiders. It could be...
If it's
I
Darksiders,
don't
I might give
know.
him a vote. What's the one on the left? It's like a scarecrow witch.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, that maybe his daughter. He has an older daughter and son, right?
He has an older son, but I think that's the younger son. It's hard to tell. They're wearing
Correct.
masks. But just size-wise, I would guess that's the younger son, because I think his younger son is like 13. So that looks like that's probably more size.
Can we take a second here and give Tim some credit? Because if you look at all these Halloween, he has like a pumpkin patch thing, a little tombstone, some bats, all post-processed in effects. That doesn't just, he added those stickers in afterwards.
He's in it to win it.
Let's see here. 2 more left.
Spider-Chan.
Spider-Chan.
Shan.
Spider-Chan. He has a Shy Guy pumpkin, which again, that mask looks like it's floating almost.
Yeah.
Look how skinny those lines are, and he didn't break them.
Yeah. Really good. That's hard to do.
That is very hard to do. That's very good. Last but not least, Solo something. His lovely 2 kids looks like, I don't know, maybe JoJo and a ninja.
I think it's just a ninja.
Who's the but what is she? That JoJo girl.
It could be Gem.
Who's Jen?
Gem, that 80s cartoon?
Nope, don't know it.
Gem and the holograms. Let me see if I see a costume like Gem.
I'll tell you what, you gotta respect the bunny ears she's putting on her brother.
Classic.
All right, that's everybody.
No problems.
Jesse, Tim can't win. I can't win. You can't win. What do we got? I mean...
do you have finalists? I have finalists I can kind of go through, I think.
Yeah, who are your finalists?
All right, here are my finalists. Tell me if you agree or disagree, and then go through the pictures in case I miss something.
Okay.
Sex Pumpkin.
Yes.
Clearly solves none of our criteria whatsoever.
Not creative at all. Probably a mistake.
Right.
Not spooky.
They clearly intended us to pick up on Sex Pumpkin. That was totally probably their kids' intention to win our contest. I got Koozie Mario.
Gotta go there. I mean, I gotta respect it.
It's strong, good one. I love the way they're impersonating the other picture. It's not just an
Agreed.
We got the K-Mech Daytime Nighttime Pumpkin.
Love it.
Very good. I mean, I can't even accentuate that, how you can't tell it's even carved.
It's amazing.
Picture. And then it just lights up. And then it looks like when it's lit up, it doesn't look like it's painted.
I agree.
It's magic. I got Tex Tray.
Agreed.
Switch
amazing family photo.
With Kirby and Goomba and Mario. Those Joy-Cons are great. I have my other lead contenders. The Cart family, who was at Max Power.
Yep, that's a good one.
Just all of these kids all in on Mario Kart is just glorious to see.
Agreed.
And then I have I'm reading the wrong notes.
The Shy Guy.
Did I have Shy Guy?
I
had Scooby Family.
Oh, Scooby Family's good.
Scooby Family. Yeah.
I like them too. I want to move, and I think I got to move Shy Guy into the finalists.
Okay, we're gonna add Shy Guy.
Yep. So for the finalists,
anybody else you want to throw into this finalist?
No, I'm happy with those as my finalists.
Okay. I mean, I thought all of them were amazing.
Everyone, thank you so much for submitting them. I agree.
Okay.
And as a finalist means absolutely nothing, just to be clear.
Correct.
Not yet.
Nothing
we
yet.
have Spider-Chan. We got not Laffer. We got Matt's Power. We got Texas Trey, and then Formant, Chris HL, Bob Cousy, and that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 finalists.
Wait, who did the K-Mech?
The K-Met one was done by the Informant.
An informant, okay.
So,
And
with that
Sex
being
Pumpkin
said,
was Chris.
based off of creativity, spookiness, and Nintendo,
And oral sex, apparently. Wait,
I'm torn. I have two.
I'm looking at the picture of Sex Ghost, and I'm wondering if the eye of Mike Wachowski serves the same purpose.
But that little pupil could get in the way. I'm concerned. But Mario's nose, on the other hand.
Oh no. My.
I got it down to two finalists.
Okay.
I recommend Tetris Trey's Beautiful Family of Nintendo and then Informant K-Met's Pumpkin.
All right. So you have it as K-Mech and the Joy-Cons. Now, the way I like to do these sorts of things, it's like choosing what to eat, is like we go back and forth and eliminate something.
Correct.
So I'm gonna throw in, let's make this fair, one more finalist.
Okay.
No. I'm gonna add 3 more finalists.
Jesus Christ.
And then we will each eliminate 2 of them and take turns, okay?
Okay.
So I'm gonna add 3 more finalists. I'm gonna say Koozie Mario.
Yep.
Mario Golf Guy. And the Kart Family from Max Power.
Yep.
And
you know you want to say the ghost.
I'm gonna go. No. We're gonna go with the Scooby Family. I do love Sex Ghost, and I want to credit Chris's kid for making it. But it does not address the categories.
You cannot guarantee that was his kid and not him.
Could you mail us the Sex Ghost pumpkin?
Yeah, maybe could you create a stencil for that?
Stencil for it? Could you make the stencil a little bigger, if you know what I mean? All right.
What happened to this?
Okay. Okay, we got 5 finalists. Okay, you got them written down. Bob, here I'll put it in the notes so we can.
Wait, I had them in order, but I think I deleted one by accident.
God damn it! If you fuck this up, Drew.
Oh no, I found it. I got it.
Okay, so I'm putting them into the notes right now. Bob Cousy Golf, K-Mech Pumpkin.
You doing in that order?
We got they random order.
No, I like that order.
TX Trey Joy-Cons. Yeah, these are totally unordered. Kart Family and Scooby Family.
Yes,
okay,
that's 5 total.
All right, I want you to be able to pick the winner. So we're each going to eliminate 2 of them. We're going to take turns.
Okay.
And you're going to get that last choice.
Okay, I like it.
So of these 5, gosh, and somebody's got to win though. We got to eliminate people.
We got it. You got to eliminate somebody.
I'm gonna have to eliminate. God, this is hard, man. Oh my God, we have to do this 4 times.
You're shattering a family.
I'm gonna go and I'm gonna eliminate Scooby Family. Only because we've seen Scooby before,
and there's no Nintendo creativity there.
There's no Nintendo.
I'll give you spookiness a little bit because Scooby-Doo's kind of has a spooky show trying to solve mysteries. But where's the Nintendo? Unless you count the crazy Animal Crossing guy as part of it.
No, we went with Scooby, and yeah, it doesn't address all the categories fully. It's definitely creative, especially with the van.
Well, Nick, congratulations, 5th place. Absolutely, you win nothing, but you still have a chance for the lotto.
Exactly.
Next.
Okay, you got to eliminate somebody.
Oh, I have to eliminate. Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know I was in part of this. Nope. Oh my gosh. So I got Bob Cousy. I got the Informant, K-Met Pumpkin, Tetris Trey Family, or Matt's Power, Friends Family of Mario Karts.
This is really hard.
Oh my God, this is so hard.
That's what she said.
Well, I can't ever in my physical mind delete a Mario Golf of anything. So that's off the table. I'll have to make you do that if that's what you want. I'm gonna unfortunately have to. I absolutely in love with the Latitu, but I have to go with Matt's Unlimited. I'm sorry. I hate this.
Oh, the card family. I know it's so hard. I love the whole card family. All right. Card family is out. Max Power. Drew did that. Just remember that. I think that was because you were better than him at golf. It's probably
possible. I also think he said this was an old picture. It was not from this year.
Okay.
Not that I should judge, but I didn't have any spookiness factor.
I hate to do it. I consider him a friend. I've got to strike Bob Cousy, Mario, golf. I love the picture.
I love this. But third place, Jeff. It's nothing to be ashamed of.
Not spooky.
It's not.
It's very creative, and I mean, it's create. I mean, is it really creative? I mean, maybe it's not creative. It's awesome though.
I think he did this to get to my heart.
Yeah, I gotta strike him out.
Oh my god! Wait, so now it's up to me?
It is up to you. The last two contenders are K-Mech Pumpkin. That is is that an informant? An informant.
Yes.
And Texas Trey's Joy-Cons. And you have to make this decision.
Can we just pay them both? Do we have the funds? We don't have the funds.
We don't, man. You know, people are not doing Patreon like they should.
I know. Patreon 69ers. So here's my problem. Spookiness, creativity, Nintendo. I have to play them out here. Let's look at the pumpkins. K-Met, pumpkin. It's a jack-o'-lantern at both day and night. A little spooky, right? I mean, a jack-o'-lantern is spooky. Nintendo themed. Love the fact that it's K-Mets. Whoever thinks of doing K-Mets anything? K-Mets is an amazing character. I love K-Mets. And the creativity of at nighttime, it just looks like a regular, slightly carved jack-o'-lantern. At daytime, it's an amazing, amazing painting, right? A lot of jack-o'-lanterns die during the day. This one has more life. So I really like that. And then as far as creativity, that falls in the creativity part. Let's go to Texas Trey. Again, 2 Joy-Cons, Mario, a Kirby, and a Goomba. Here's my thing with Texas Trey. Let's go to creativity for a second. These are not any of these costumes. Even the Mario one was not something they bought in a store. These were all custom-made costumes. Right? I mean, you can tell.
They're definitely custom-made.
Nintendo does not get any more Nintendo than this. Agreed?
I agree.
But here's my problem, John. There's 3 categories.
Mm-hmm.
Does this have any spookiness in it?
That is exactly what I was thinking. There is no spooky.
So with that being said,
is Joy-Con drift spooky?
I don't see drift. Those look pretty solid circles there.
Pretty clean. Okay.
If I have to go off the 3 categories, I think we have to say the Informant nailed it.
We have a winner.
We have a winner, Informant, because the K-Met's pumpkin. You agree?
I think it is I think it's a great decision. I think it hits Nintendo. Great creativity there to even think of doing that in that way. It's spooky. It's everything we asked for.
It really is. It's amazing. Well done. $15 eShop card for you. Reach out to Marty. That is yours. We will post the winners in Discord tomorrow. John, do you have a random generator up for me?
So how many eligible people do we have?
I mean, let's just label 1 through 18. If we get something, we'll roll again. I have the slide numbers up, ready to go. Make it simple.
Okay, so we're basically doing a random number from 1 to 18.
I have them all. I moved them around a little bit. They might be in a different order than you did, but they're all on even playing field.
I'm going to click the button 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the number is 3. That's probably one of us.
3. So. Nope, I reshuffled them, and that, you know what? Sometimes fate is just meant to be. Texas Trey, congratulations,
wow.
Because I was moving them around based on our ranking, so it was irrelevant.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay. No, you know what?
Well deserved.
The lotto's random, but sometimes, yeah, I think it's fair.
So there it is, Tetris Trade. Because of your beautiful family creativity, you win a $10 eShop card. eShop card. eShop. I don't know what that is. eShop card. Reach out to Marty, and he will get you that. What a blast! This was great.
I got a sex pumpkin I need to make, so we're gonna have to hurry this up.
Yes, Chris, if you could ship that to us, we'll take turns.
Well, but I'm done with it. I'll ship it to you, Drew.
That's okay. Just don't break the pumpkin. I still want it in one piece.
I think it's getting broken.
Hey, John, remember when we said we were going to be an hour and a half tonight?
Yeah.
Whatever happened to that?
Oh my God. All right. Let's wrap it up here with what's coming up. This is a big week. Animal Crossing Big Day, November 5th. The Animal Crossing DLC comes out. You get that for free if you paid for the overpriced expansion pack.
Free.
Or it's $25. Also, those Animal Crossing Series 5 cards are coming out. I know we have pre-ordered 6 of them.
Wow.
So we're hoping we get some of the characters, and we'll be up for trading. So try to turn them all into unique ones. I just want to add real quick on November 5th as well, when you're enjoying Animal Crossing, season 2 of the new Animaniacs on Hulu is starting. So I'm very excited for that. Gonna watch some Animaniacs. November 11th, Grand Theft Auto, the trilogy, the definitive edition. This is the remastered version of 3 Grand Theft Auto games. Drew, I've never played a Grand Theft Auto game for more than a few minutes. I might actually get this. I've been looking for an open world game to play on the Switch, so I might be in on this.
Oh, that's odd.
And then November 12th, don't forget, Game & Watch Legend of Zelda finally comes out. I feel like it's been forever.
I kind of feel like this is one of those that I just keep forgetting about, and it's going to show up at my doorstep one day.
Yeah, very excited.
I kind of want to play Link's Awakening, I'm not going to lie.
Oh, that would be fun.
You think you had to play that whole game on that thing, though?
As long as it saves. It has to save. So
it does. It does bookmarks.
Yeah. You can do a cloud save on your game. Well, that was fun.
That was fun. That was our episode. Nice and long like we always do, as expected. Halloween, fun. It's great. Go watch The Strangers. Let me know what you thought.
I'm going to let you know. I'll have that report for you next week.
Next week, remember homework. The Strangers, Candy, and you have to play Nightmare on Elm Street.
Okay. I will try to do all 3. I'll make a note.
Okay.
All right.
Alrighty.
Good night, dads.
Good morning.
The Dads After Dark show is a part of the Nintendo Dads family of podcasts. You can subscribe to us anywhere podcasts are available, including iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, and Stitcher. Be sure to join us on the Nintendo Dads Discord in the Dads After Dark show channel for some naughty After Dark talk. Follow us on Twitter @NDadsAfterDark. Ask us a question, and we may answer it on the show. That's all for tonight. Good night, Dads. Sweet dreams.